you can bank on us.
Banking is some of the most important things in your life, and banking at the right bank is very important. We're really proud of our bank because we have great people, and our people are what make our bank go. We always want to treat our customers right and do the best job we can for them, and try to do things to help make our communities better.
Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. Under the Friday night lights, we are here in the great state of North Dakota. Good evening, everybody. My name is Dallas Hanson, joining the booth tonight with my partner in crime, that is Corey McIver. And oh my, it is spooky season. We have a trick-or-treat matchup for you. It's the number one team in the state, the Minot North Sentinels, the new kids on the block, who've stormed their way to the top of AA football. They stand tall, they play tough, and tonight they've got the target squarely on their chest. And coming to town to get them off that top of the mountain seat, that would be the Jamestown Blue Jays, a program with history, swagger, and a chance to prove they can knock off the best. When the Blue Jays spread their wings, they can fly high, and they're looking to ground the Sentinels right here, right now. Buckle up, folks. It's number one, Minot North versus Jamestown High. Pride, rankings, and Pregame on the line. This is North Dakota High School football on the PSP Network. Well, the rain's coming down in sheets here in the Magic City at First Western Bank Field. My name is Dallas Hanson alongside Corey McIver. Kind of cozy in here, huh, Corey?
Yeah, we're definitely definitely packed in here. We got camera guys joining us up here in the booth so we can keep some equipment dry. So yeah, it's going to be a little cozy here for the next couple hours.
Well, Corey, let's get right into our Valve and Instant Oil Change pregame show. We were just talking about how Minot North coming off arguably one of the best games in AA football this season. They had a whale of a game against Devils Lake, who was ranked number 4 at the time. Devils Lake came in and arguably fell 3 yards short from getting the upset of the century here. But Minot North, to their advantage, they stopped them. They got the stop they needed. They win the game. But when you go from a high like that against a great Devils Lake team, you got to bounce back. Even though you won the football game and knowing Coach Holman, you got to bounce back and play a scrappy Jamestown team.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at last week's game. That was definitely a quintessential roller coaster game. I think anybody that's a Vikings fan understands what it's like to watch a game like that on a Sunday afternoon. So definitely a nice defensive stand there at the end when Devils Lake was driving for the potential game-tying touchdown and maybe even the extra point that would have given them the win. But yeah, when you have a game like that, just the raw emotion of the game. And to have a stand like that, having your defense bow up and stop Devils Lake 3 yards short from that touchdown, and how high you are on that win, it sometimes is a little difficult to stay on that high or match that high coming into the next week's game and coming up here against Jamestown, because there's going to be times where you may be a little flat, and just because of just the sheer emotion of it, trying to get yourself back up again, treat it as just another big game, which some people will, some people won't. It'll be interesting to see how it is when Minot North gets on the field, how they treat this. But you just have to tell yourself as a coach, as a player, as a team, we have to treat Jamestown like we're replaying the Devils Lake game again, or we've got Kindred coming into town. One of the top teams. Treat that like this is the game that decides if we're the number one seed in the West. And go out and prove it and win the game and win it in decisive fashion.
You've been listening to our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show, your locally owned oil change headquarters. 25 years of the Lundins taking care of people. Local actually matters. Not to mention this oil change is a stay-in-your-car drive-through oil change that is typically performed in 15 minutes or less. Find them in Minot and Bismarck. That's Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Let's talk about the underdogs tonight, Corey. Jamestown. They come into this matchup after a loss against a gritty Watford City team. Watford City's beaten some teams out west here, but as it stands today, Jamestown's record is 1-6. They won their first game of the year against Wahpeton, 23-12. But listen to this, Corey. Week 2, their starting quarterback gets hurt. He's done for the year. Okay, big loss. He was arguably their best player. So what's Coach Nelson going to do? Well, he brings in this new kid. They still throw the football a ton, and they've got the White House to do that.
Yeah, when you lose your starting quarterback, it doesn't matter when it is during the season. You lose your starting quarterback. That's a big hole to fill. That, if you want to say the nice thing or the positive thing about that happening to Jamestown is it happened early in the season, and so you could bring in that backup quarterback. You can develop him within the system, and if you don't have to change anything offensively in your playbook, and you can just plug in your new quarterback, and maybe he doesn't make the same throws as the starting quarterback does, or plays don't look as crisp or as clean as it was when QB1 was in the game. But as long as your offense, your team is still producing things offensively, then you can get by with it. And maybe you might have to trim the offensive playbook a little bit and gear the playbook toward what are my strengths of my new quarterback and what does he lack. Well, let's take some of these plays out that maybe are lacking a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to take a short break here. We don't have an outdoor mic for the national anthem with the rain, so while they sing that, we're going to take a quick break and pay tribute to the United States of America.
Banking is some of the most important things in your life, and banking at the right bank is very important. We're really proud of our bank because we have great people, and our people are what make our bank go. We always want to treat our customers right and do the best job we can for them, and try to do things to help make our communities better.
That sinking feeling you get when this happens? That's oil change-anxiety. The anxiety of being without a car with a billion things to do. The fear of being overcharged. The stress of not knowing where to go or who to trust. But you never get those feelings at Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where you can watch us work right from your car, and we finish up in about 15 minutes.
We changed your oil and did our 18-point safety check.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Service you can see, experts you can trust.
We are back, and again, our apologies on not having the national anthem on here. We weren't allowed to have, or we're not having an outdoor mic because of the rain. It is coming down in bunches. Let's talk a little bit more about Minot North, who finds themselves at number 1. It is senior night here tonight. And how about this senior class, Corey? Josiah Jacquinette, Jesse Vetter, Evan Berg, Cole Richardson. How about QB1, Blickery, Christian Dedman, Gunnar Jost, William Bentley, just to name a few. I mean, you can walk into the stadium tonight and they've got all the senior plaques laid out there. This is the class that helped put the foundation on Sentinel football.
Yeah, this is when you look back at the success that Minot North has had the last couple of years, it's this group that's kind of built that foundation. And there are going to be some huge holes to fill after this season is done, and these guys have moved on. But for the time being, for the meanwhile, they're going to continue to ride these seniors hopefully into victories these last couple of weeks of the regular season, and then a long playoff push that hopefully results in them playing in the Fargo Dome for a state title.
You've been listening to our Valve and Instant Oil Change pregame show, timely service that won't slow you down. Check them out in Minot and Bismarck. Let's take a quick look at our standings right now as of today. Minot North in the media poll, still number 1. Kindred right on their heels, and Devils Lake, who we saw last week, put up a great fight against Minot North, bumps up to 3.
Yeah, that's that switch with Devils Lake moving up to 3. Everybody, the top 5, there isn't a whole lot of change there. And of course, you see Central Castle receiving votes. So there's 1 through 6. There's some pretty good football teams that are going to be going into the playoffs that are going to be meeting head to head, and that's going to make for some fun playoff football.
We know what's fun for Jamestown. All they have to do is keep winning. Win tonight. Keep going, win next week, you're into the playoffs. There's going to be a few teams that make it that maybe some people thought kind of wrote them off. Week 5, week 6. Minot North, it's pretty simple. Win tonight, and the West is yours. Let's take a quick look at our schedule of events. Don't forget, tomorrow night, presented by Bones Barbecue. I love Bones Barbecue right here in Minot, North Dakota. We got Killdeer and Central McLean. I know Killdeer is tough football team. And then TGU versus MLS, some 9-man action coming at you. That'll be right here on the PSP Network. Let's, Corey. It's time. It is time, everybody, for Corey McIver's keys to the football game. Let's take a quick look at these. For Minot North, you said win the West.
Yep, and a win today it gives locks down that number 1 seed in the West, and pretty much gives you home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And so this game is a huge one for Minot North just for that basic reason. But like you said too, Jamestown still has an opportunity to get in the playoffs as well. They have to run the table, kind of a daunting task, but it's still something that they can do. And you want to be playing your best football toward the end of the season anyway, going into the playoffs. So for Minot North, we want let's put our game plan together. Let's win the North, or win the West here. Get ourselves home field, and let's have teams come to us and try to knock us off on our home field in the playoffs.
And for Jamestown, something that's plagued them a lot this year: turnovers.
Yeah, the turnover battle it's just one thing that as a defense, especially with the conditions we have tonight, these are ripe for turnovers. Ball security is going to be huge. Guys that are going to be running the ball, running backs, anybody that's going to be running the ball is going to have to make sure they have 2 hands on the ball. The exchange between center and quarterback are going to be crucial as well. You're going to want to make sure you got a drive football, and I'm sure the teams have already talked about that. They talked with the officials. They're going to make sure that the start of a drive, there's a drive football in for that offense, so they can have some success, and then they're going to be watching it periodically throughout the game to make sure that football stay drive, so we don't have too many turnovers. But as a defense, you're hunting after that football, because you're going to be able to pop that thing out, and the turnover, we've seen it before. The team that capitalizes on the turnovers and can put points on the board are generally going to win the ball game.
Those keys of the game are brought to you by Northern Plains Heating and Air. There's no other choice to seal your heating and air game than Northern Plains Heating and Air. Call Dylan today at 222-2155 to make sure your furnace is ready for the winter months ahead. Again, to call Dylan at 222-2155 for new installations, upgrades, all your furnace and AC needs. That's Northern Plains Heating and Air. As we did mention, folks, it is senior night tonight, and there was a person that we wanted to make sure was recognized on Minot North's staff, and that is Anna Mendez. She's the team manager. She wears number 37, and her advice to the underclassmen are, you're not just a student manager, you're a part of the team and a member of the family. And I know all the players on the field get the recognition, they get the newspapers, they get to be live on PSP, but it's the student managers that help keep the backbone of the team alive and well.
Yeah, absolutely. When you have good student managers, as players, you don't have to worry about some of those little things that student managers usually take care of. And as a coach, when you have a good student managers that can take care of, making sure water bottles are filled, they're making sure things are picked up after games and practices, something you don't have to concern yourself with as a coach. Sometimes those people are hard to find, and when you find good ones, you want to hang on to them. And then the other nice thing is, as they get older, you bring in younger kids, and you have those older student managers teach the younger ones, this is how we do things in this program. So that thing, so you lose people, but you're still gaining the same thing during the program.
Listen to this coach talk from South Prairie's head girls coach. I love it.
Yeah, I've learned a few things throughout the years.
We also want to give a shout out to the athletic director and everybody up here with the squeegees, keeping our windows clean. Brent Nelson and company, thank you. We appreciate you, because we all are inside, so the camera's actually inside, so we've got squeegees galore outside making sure the windows are clean. Speaking of clean, it is time for the big one, the kickoff. Will Minot North stay up top, or will Jamestown play? Spoiler alert, you've been listening to our Valvoline Instant Oil Change pregame show. Timely services that won't slow you down. Make sure to check them out in Minot Bismarck. Corey, any last thoughts before kickoff here from First Western Bank Field?
This is the if you love football, you love watching football. This is the type of environment.
It's the best weather.
This is the absolute best weather you can have to play in this. I talked to a few guys in school, and they echoed the same thing. They love playing in games like this. It's wet, it's cold. You really find out who are the guys that like to come out and play in these things and who likes to hit in these games, because it feels a little different when you get hit when it's cold. So this is going to be a fun one to watch, a fun one to call, and I think everybody's kind of ready to go.
Speaking of some players to watch for Jamestown, Saylor, he's one of those nice wide receivers, 27 receptions for 309 yards for 3 touchdowns. Remick also 200 total yards receiving, and Verkey, the last of those weapons. Jamestown's going to kick off the football tonight, and they're all white unis with blue pants, and we are off. Minot North sending deep. It's Hannon. He's going to let it go over his head, and we will have a touchback to kick us off here from the capital city. Excuse me, the Magic City, that is. Thinking about our other broadcasts around the land here in North Dakota, make sure to subscribe to PSP Network. And the best part about it is all these regular season games are for free. Just make sure you subscribe, share this feed with friends and family, and give us a like. Corey, what will we see out of Minot North this first possession?
I think you're going to see the same thing that you've seen throughout the entire year. They're going to want to establish the run. Their offensive line is going to want to control the line of scrimmage, and you're just going to see them take the ball here on the 20. And if they can put an 80-yard drive and take a whole bunch of time off the clock in the first quarter, as long as it results in a touchdown, they don't really care how long it takes.
Blickery's going to hand off to Cooper Chick. Chick, and wearing no sleeves tonight, you got to respect that. He goes for no gain, so it'll be 2nd down and 10 still. And Corey, with the musical chairs, if you will, that is the backfield for Minot North. We've seen Chick, we've seen Evan Berg, we've seen Deadman. Blickery's taken a few just quarterback sneaks up the gut. But will we see mainly Chick tonight, or are we going to see a few others?
I think they still stick with that running back by committee. I think they've had success. It doesn't matter who they plug back there. They produce and they gain yards, and that's really what you want. So plus it gives it doesn't allow the defense to focus on one style of run.
They do give it to Kindhannon this time. He's up to the 25-30. Kindhannon picks up the 1st down and 2 more. How about Kindhannon? We've seen a lot on those reverses.
Well, that's the other thing too. You've got 2 speedy receivers in Jackanet and Kindhannon that you can give the ball to on those sweeps, and they're going to go right around the edge. And now that also sets up a nice little fake with that jet sweep, and then you come back with a Cooper Chick or a Deadman or a Berg right back up the middle when you have the linebackers flowing to the ball.
Blickery under center. Chick dots the eye. Berg's going to get the football here. Stumbling, bumbling, fumbling. He's going to be down. Actually, they'll give him a gain of 1. So it'll be 2nd and 9 for Minot North. Comes in this football game with the perfect record of 7-0. And we saw them be Warriors last week, Corey. How fun was that Devils Lake game?
That was a lot of fun. It was it was fun to call. Other than being here or calling the game, I really no vested interest in the game, other than I like to see a good football game, and that was a really good football game, and that defense did really step up at the end there. So look for the offense to kind of get going here to allow that defense to kind of play loose.
Split formation. Chicks gets it this time. He's going to have a gain of 7. Brings it up to 3rd and 2, and this is right where Minot North wants to be, the 3rd and manageable.
Yeah, you get 3rd and manageable. Now the playbook, it's we've seen it a bunch of times where Blickery will turn around and then just give the ball to Evan Berg, and he'll get the 3-4 yards for a 1st down. You might even see Blickery try to sneak it even a little bit, or you got Cooper Chick going out to the corner on a toss or a sweep play.
Blickery this time hands it off to Berg, just like you called, partner. McIver's on the loose tonight, so is Evan Berg. Berg picks up the 1st down. That'll be a fresh set on this opening possession for Minot North.
Yep, and just, it's almost like Novocaine. You just keep doing the same thing over and over again, and the defense knows, coaching staff from Jamestown knows this is what Minot North wants to do, and the problem and the frustrating thing is, as a defense, you know what's coming, and you still can't stop it.
I know. It's crazy. Speaking of that, Blickery's under center. This time Cooper Chick's going to dot the eye. The man out to the far right is Gunnar Jost. Blickery with the hard count. This time is going to hand off to Chick. Little shimmy shake, make him bake. Goes for a gain of 2. So we're seeing the Jamestown defensive linemen step up nice here.
Yep, and you see that early on. You see the defenses kind of they're able to make the plays. They're able to plug those gaps and keep them from getting more than maybe 2 or 3 yards on. It's later on in the game where you see those big gash plays go for 7 to 10 to 12 yards because the offensive line just wears down the defense. And sooner or later, these 2 or 3 yard gains that Chick is getting, he's going to break one for about 12 to 15.
Brady Heminger, a player to watch. This time, Blickery, he rolls out to the left. Blickery's got some space and a lot of grass in front of him. Blickery to the 40, 35. Look at the moves from the senior leader, Blickery, all the way up to the 26.
And that play would not have, we would not have the play we did. It had not been for Evan Berg to get a seal on that defensive end.
1,000%.
An excellent block there by Berg. Actually, there was 2 guys there, and he was able to run away from the other one. And of course, now typical MO for Minot North, we're gonna go no huddle, hurry up after a big play.
They give it to Christian Dedman, the big man. He's gonna roll and roll and roll. Picks up a 7 yards already. But let's take another look on the Ryan family instant replay on that Dedman play. If they are gonna huddle, so we got time for replay.
Yeah, that was a good play. You see him come out and boot. You see the 2 guys right there. Berg does a great job of sealing, and then he's able to get away from the other one. And now it's just straight man coverage. So now you got those defenders with their back to Blickery. They have no idea where he's at, so he's able to pick up those big yards. But had he not been able to run away from that second defender, that was all for naught. But Berg did a great job of sealing that primary defender.
We just missed an Evan Berg 2-yard gain, so it brings up 3rd and 1 for Minot North. Minot North, I'm seeing something early on here from Coach Jacob Holman, who's in his 3rd year, 2nd official year as a program, but he's doing a lot of substitutions. He's getting some of those seniors some reps, and he's kind of getting ready for playoffs here as they know they're going to have to be deep. It's going to be split back this time. Dedman on the left, a player to watch. Hannon goes in motion. They fake to Hannon. Blickery's just going to keep it himself, go up the left side. Blickery's tough as nails is going to get to the 16-yard line, takes a big hit there. And a player we got to watch, a linebacker that plays with his hair on fire, that's H.C. Mack, the sophomore, 6-footer, 180.
Yeah, that was a good job there. Good job by Jamestown. They stretched that thing to the sideline. They didn't allow Blickery to get up the field. You had Dedman and Berg both their lead blocking, and there was so much there that it slowed Blickery down. A short 4th down, and you got Minot North going for it.
Dedman in the backfield. Blickery's going to go with the hard count. Now he looks over at Coach Holman. Holman says, run the play. It's going to be a sneak for Blickery. Blickery's going to get a 1st down and more, so they do get the 1st down. And I know we sound like an old record sometimes, Corey, but that is their go-to play.
Yeah, I mean, how hard is it as a quarterback? I think in my limited mobility now and in the age that I am, I think I could probably get behind that offensive line and pick up a yard or 2 yards, which you need for a 1st down.
Could Holberg go?
Well, that's the big question. Those hockey guys, you never know.
Blickery this time hands off to Christian Dedman. Dedman, the outstanding senior, he's going to keep rolling. And the interesting story for people that are just watching Minot North this year, we love the Christian Dedman story. He gets hurt last year. His season ends with a left knee injury, and he can't play. So then this year they've got a bunch of running backs that can play the position. And Coach Holman says, you got to play a lot of defense. Your offensive reps are going to come kind of in waves. And he said, absolutely, Coach, whatever we got to do to win.
Yeah, we talked about that last week, and I kind of said, I kind of echoed that same thing. And when you have a player like that puts the personal stuff aside for the betterment of the team, those are, you wish you had a bunch of guys like that.
Hannon in motion again with the split back. They're going to give it to Hannon. Oh, almost lost it. Hannon's got some space. Can he get the corner? It's Kai Hannon. He's going to score. Touchdown, Sizzling Sentinels.
Yeah, that was a good play call again. It was the sweep, that right side of the offensive line, and those guys did a great job of just caving that thing in. So, and even a better job there. There was a bobble there on the handoff, and of course, the ball being wet, the exchange is going to be an issue. Did a great job of stopping to recoup that football, and still had the opportunity to break to the corner there for a touchdown.
Joseph Nelson on for the extra point. He is a senior, and he's been outstanding for Minot North so far this year. Snap's good, holds good, kick is good. So Joseph Nelson makes it 7-0 early on in your BNC National Bank scoreboard. How about BNC National Bank with locations throughout North Dakota, Minnesota, and Arizona? BNC National Bank provides you with the banking and wealth management services for your business and family. Visit BNC Bank online today. That's bnc.bank. And our instant replay. We appreciate that more than ever. They're brought to you by Ryan Family Dealership for 50 years. Ryan has been a trusted name for car buyers in western North Dakota. Shop their entire inventory at driveryan.com or visit one of their 5 locations in Minot and Williston. Corey, that first drive was got to be Coach Holman's favorite drive this season.
Well, we talk about it all the time. They got the ball at the 20, went 80 yards, and took half the quarter to do it. And that's exactly what, if Minot North offensively, that's exactly what you want to do. They're not a high strike, quick scoring offense. They like to take their time, and they'll every once in a while they'll break a long run, but it typically is in the second half when the defense is tired. But so these first half scores, these first half possessions, we're going to take as much time on the clock as absolutely possible, because we don't want your offense to have any time at all to do anything. So now it's Minot North's defense job here to force a 3 and out and get the ball back into Minot North's offensive hands.
Olsen set to kick it off here. Minot North in the all navy blue, if you will, unis tonight. Olsen's kick. It's up. It's going against the sleet, and it dies right in the rain. Picking it up at the 25 is Jamestown. Got a little room to run. How about this by Saylor? Saylor brings it all the way out to the 37-yard line, and now we get to see the sophomore that they call Carson Schmidt, who replaces one of their best players we talked about in our Valve and Instant Oil Change pregame show. Schmidt, just a 5'10", 170-pound sophomore, but this kid can sling the rock.
Yeah, and like you said, he's a sophomore, so you're going to see, what kind of quarterback is he? Can we put pressure on him? Is he going to stay in the pocket? Is he going to scramble out of there? What kind of, when things start to break down for him, what kind of decision-making ability does he have?
First down and 10 for Jamestown from the 37. This time they hand it off to Fry. Fry's going to be gobbled up rather quickly. One of the players on the tackle was Cole Richardson, another senior. So we're going to see a lot of passing tonight, but Liam Fry has had a great year so far, over 500 yards rushing, and a player to watch that wears number 7.
Yeah, you've got some weapons on the offense for Jamestown, and you're going to utilize them, and so you're going to give those guys opportunities to be successful, and that takes less pressure off of your young quarterback.
Schmidt this time hands it right back to Fry. Fry bounces it out to the left. He's going to be met by a bunch of Sentinels. Again, one of them on the carry, and really making his way towards the runner and filling that gap nice was number 5, Carmen Jez.
Yeah, that was a good job there. You looked like Fry wanted to kind of break that in the inside, in the interior, and then he was forced to break it out, and that was a great job by Jez to kind of track him down, not allowing him to get his foot planted to get downfield.
3rd and 9 from the 38 for Schmidt and company. Jamestown looking for a first down. They're going to be stopped. Pass was complete to the big man, the tight end that they like, Tucker Allen Jr., 6'2", 210. That's a big target.
Yeah, that's a nice target. That's definitely, like I said, that's the safety blanket that every quarterback likes, is knowing they can dump it down to the tight end. But that was just a great job by Minot North's defense to recognize what they wanted to do and came up and made the tackle right away. And now, again, they forced that 3 and out, so now the ball is going to go back into the hands of the Sentinel offense.
So we'll be Jamestown looking to punt. We're going to have a timeout on the field. Timeout will go to Minot North. We'll take time as well. You're listening and watching to Friday Night Football here on PSP.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Tonight's sponsors for timeouts are First International Bank and Trust. They're a full-service, family-owned, independent community bank built on the bond between our employees and customers. Founded in 1910 and growing to serve rural and urban communities. We got a fumbled snap. Oh, my heavens. Oh, and Minot North with the stop of the century. Good job there by the special teams making special plays. How about Braxton Thompson making a play?
Yeah, that was something we talked about in pregame, is the ball's going to be a little slippery, and maybe even Minot North looked like they were lining up to put some pressure, and that can kind of mess with the punter as far as keeping his eyes down, looking at the ball, but you're looking at what the rush is coming at, and the ball might be a little slippery. So this is an excellent opportunity here from North to take advantage of some good field position.
Perfect time for an ad read, wasn't it, Corey?
Yep.
Directly under center. He's going to hand it off to Chick. Chick's got a little space. Boys, this kid's slippery, especially in the rain. Brings it out to the 17-yard line. And Cooper Chick, who we're starting to see get a lot of the carries here for this Minot North offense.
Yeah, well, and the nice thing is he's kind of the main running back, but he's also a junior, so he's going to be coming back next year. So one thing though, you'd like to see maybe Ethan Howey, number 55. He kind of got stuck in no man's land, and Chick kind of ran into him. So you like to see those offensive linemen to continue to go downfield.
Chick bounces it out to the right this time, brings brings it out to the 5-yard line. They're now in the Serve Pro red zone. Serve Pro, 24/7 emergency service, trained technicians, fire and water cleanup and restoration. It's Serve Pro. And Corey, I know you love this. Once they get a big play, they just keep it no huddle, and they're going to run another one. Blickery right back to Chick. Chick bounces out to left. Did Cooper Chick get in? He's stopped at the 1-yard line. They're saying he's just a little bit short, but Cooper Chick gets it rolling.
Yep.
Hard to stop, and they're going to go no huddle again. Towels are on the ground. Raindrops are hitting the ground. Blickery's under center. Blickery, he's going to try to get in. The senior that's willed this team to number 1 gets in for 6.
Yeah, that was again, short field, but still North is running the football. Chick is really starting to kind of gash that Jamestown defense a little bit. So again, but yeah, they have a big play. They go no huddle. They don't want Jamestown a chance to huddle and make adjustments and make calls. They're forcing Jamestown to play up-tempo defense, and sometimes defenses don't like that.
The senior Olsen back on to kicks the extra point, trying to make it 14-0 in this young football game. Snap's good. Hold is very good. Olsen on nearly blocked. That kick goes right down Broadway. So we score with 3:20 left here in the first quarter. Sentinels 14, Blue Jays 0. Jamestown, what are they going to have to do with this second offensive possession to get some points up?
Well, I think the big thing is they're going to have to take care of it, and they're going to have to get a first down. They can't afford to be playing from behind the sticks like they were in that first drive. They have to have some positive yards here on first down. Get a couple first downs. Keep a sustained drive, and keep Minot North's defense on the field a little bit longer than just 3 plays at a time.
Well, I think that's spot on, and also what's spot on is some of our sponsors tonight, as I was saying before we got interrupted there by that blocked punt. Excellent job by the special teams. It's First International Bank and Trust. They've been founded in 1910 and growing to serve rural and urban communities across Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Find them online. That's FIBT.com. Olsen back out to kick after Minot North proving why they are number 1 here. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. Doesn't get much better than that. And when we look at this Jamestown offense, one of the kids that's really going to have to play well tonight if they're going to stand a chance is Liam Fry, the senior, 6'2", 205. You're not going to be able to pass too much tonight with the rain.
No.
We saw it on the punt. So he's got to be involved.
Yeah, you're going to have to get that run game going, and the passing is going to be very limited and very selective as far as when you want to put that thing in the air.
They fumbled it again on the kickoff. Nearly gobbling it up there was Aiden Scary. Scary's going to miss a few. Well, Scary heads back up to the 25, 26. So Scary, after bobbling the kickoff return, gathers it up for a nice little return, brings it out to the 27-yard line. So 1st and 10, out trots the Jamestown Blue Jay offense, which we talked about in our Northern Plains Heat and Air keys to the game. You got to watch the turnovers, and we see the mismanaged punt, but the offense hasn't done too much. I think they gained 2 yards in that first offensive possession.
Like I said, they're going to have to have a decent gain here on first down to give themselves a chance here. But the big thing is this drive is going to have to get this thing to midfield. You're going to have to get this thing past midfield. You're going to want to use the last 3 minutes of this first quarter. You're going to want to keep the ball. You don't want to give North the ball back, 3 times this quarter.
Schmidt, he's going to hand off to Fry again. This time Fry finds a little ways to get. He's going to gain a 5, so that's good if you're a Jamestown fan. Way to kind of get a good first footing on this possession.
Yeah, that was a good first down. I didn't catch the number of the Minot North defender, but he did kind of reach out and grab the arm a little bit and kind of
fumble.
There wasn't, but it's getting close. I think if that ball gets wet, it's going to pop out a little bit. So you're going to have to take care of it when you're going through the line.
Twins left, Twins right, 2nd and 5. Right back to Fry they go. Fry's going to be right close to a first down. Good job by Liam Fry, who I'm sure Coach Nelson's been thinking, hey, get ready, strap those cleats on tight because you're going to have a workload. Yeah,
this is the drive I think they kind of wanted. They had ran 2 plays. They gained 9 yards in 2 plays. They give themselves a very manageable third down. It's probably going to end up going to Fry again. So the North defense can kind of maybe key on that a little bit. Secondary should be ready for maybe a play action though.
3rd and a short one from the 36. They do hand it right off to Fry. Fry's going to try to get the first down and more. He will. Brings it all the way to close to the 50-yard line. We'll call it the 48. So a good job by Liam Fry, the lone senior.
Yeah, that was a good run. He set that thing up actually pretty good. He came running into the middle of into the line, and then at the last second kind of bounced it out to the outside. That forces those linebackers in if they're thinking he's going to come right in through the B or C gap, and then he ends up bouncing it to the outside. So those linebackers get caught up in the wash of the offensive line. So great job there by Fry to kind of set that up.
Fry wasn't the lone senior. He's just a lone back on that play. And we're going to have a timeout, Minot North. So Minot North uses their second timeout already. Coach Holman looks a little frustrated down there, and that's what makes a great coach, trying to get his boys to play up to key here. We'll take time as well. 1:48 left here at the first half. Sentinels 14, Jamestown 0.
Being in business for over 25 years, we've learned a lot about why local matters. Unlike those guys, we take pride in our work and back our tires with our Plus Plan guarantee to get the most out of your tire's lifespan.
Are the tires the same size on all the sides?
We strive to provide great value to our guests and lowest prices guaranteed.
That's not good.
Stop at a trusted tire and auto and get a set of tires from people you know and trust, and will even match those guys.
Well, coming into this football game, Liam Fry has 130 carries for 769 yards, 10 touchdowns. So Fry, I'm sure, is inching closer and closer to that 1,000-yard mark, which he's got 2 games to get to it. And from what we've seen here, he can very well get to it.
Oh, absolutely. I think they're going to rely heavily on him. They're going to lean on him a lot, and he can shoulder the load with almost 800 yards of rushing so far.
This time they give a toss to Fry. Fry's going to make a few Sentinels miss. He brings it out to the 50 and goes down and look at the gang tackling there. They recognize Fry as a power runner. Let's take another look at that one as you see Fry already up to 7 carries on the football game. But you just love the way the Sentinels play defense. I'm not trying to, but just watch this gang tackling. Fry's run through him a few times, and now you see.
Yeah, they swarm to the ball, and what's really nice is those first 2 guys are, those first couple of guys get there and they wrap up, and that 3rd or 4th guy, they're trying to pop that football out. So watch Minot North's defense to continue to do that. The gang tackling, the rallying to the football. They got 11 guys going to the ball every time.
2nd and 7 from the 50. Fry this time gets a gain of 1, so it's going to be 3rd and 5 for the Jamestown Blue Jays, who find themselves down 14-0 early on in this football game, and it's been very interesting to watch. We know Jamestown loves to pass the football, and they've had to totally scrap that game plan. Coach Nell says, boys, we're just going to have to run.
Yeah, if you can put a team in maybe a 3rd and long like this, where trying to pick up a first down on the ground is challenging. Not that it couldn't be done, but you put them in obvious passing situations, force them to throw the football.
Schmidt rolls out to his left, throws a lollipop out to the sideline. That was looking for Saylor, the 5'10 senior, 175. And now the punt unit comes back on for head coach Bill Nelson and the Blue Jays, and hopefully this punt goes better than the last.
Yeah, I think when you see Jamestown drop back to pass, I think you're going to see just some quick outs. They're not going to want to try to have guys run down the field long yard gains, but it's going to be, let's get the ball to the quarterback, let's get it out of his hands as quickly as possible.
This punt, the snap is blocked again. It's blocked again. Minot North right on the football. Look at the big man. Cover that ball up, big man. He will, and how about the play by Lavelle Harlan? He's all over all the time.
Yeah, that punting miscues back-to-back. I don't know if it was blocked or if it hit the back of one of the personal protectors, but
it did. It hit the back.
Hit straight in the back of the guy in the middle that stands off to the side, lets the snap go through, and then turns and faces in. That it's just one of those unfortunate acts. That's just a friendly fire hits your own guy and ricochets backwards. And now again, you give Minot North some excellent field position.
Lavelle Harlan, one of the seniors on this team, offensive, defensive lineman, 6'2", 245 for Mr. Harlan. Hannon goes in motion. He's going to get it again. Hannon's had a hand in this game all around. Hannon makes a few guys miss. Gets a quick gain of 6 yards, so a nice play from Coach Holman in that offense, and we've seen that a lot tonight. Those reverses are hitting.
Yeah, they're setting up Jamestown's defense though with that. They're going to maybe give Hannon a couple more of those, and don't be surprised if the next time they come back and they fake it and they bring Cooper Chick on a counter back the other way.
Well, that's the end of one quarter. Your BNC National Bank scoreboard. Sentinels 14, Blue Jays 0. We'll be back after a few messages from our valued sponsors.
If the job job involves dirt, we can tackle it. Dig It Up Backhoe Service. Site preparation, demolition, road building and grade raises, culvert installation, directional drilling, and every kind of dig. No job too big or too small. It's Dig It Up Backhoe Service. Find them online, digitupbackhoe.com, or call 701-722-3315. It's Dig It Up Backhoe.
All right, it's going to be 2nd and 5 from the 29 for the Sentinels. Split back formation this time. Hannon again in motion. Blickery under center. Fakes, gives it to Cooper Chick. Chick following his big offensive lineman. Look at the hole that Cooper Chick kid found. First down and more for the Sentinels.
Yeah, there was that play call. They came with the jet sweep there, and they faked the jet, and they came back with Chick, and he did a great job of just kind of dancing there, letting his offensive line kind of get up and block, and now we're going no huddle again for North.
Blickery right back to Chick. Chick's trying to find us some space. He'll get it down to the 5, the 4, the 3. Chick all the way to the 3. It's been the Cooper Chick show for the Sentinels.
Yeah, he just keeps his legs going, and those offensive linemen, after they make that first initial block, they're going down the field to find somebody else. And once Chick gets stopped, they like to get up there and move the pile as well.
This offense has been in NASCAR style. Christian Deadman knocking men over, getting in for 6. How about Deadman throwing bodies?
Yeah, you get that senior running back who was the bell cow for you last year, and like you said, his role has been diminished here offensively. But when you get down in short yardage like that, you want to reward him a little bit for the hard work that he's put in for these last couple of years to build this program up.
Olsen attempts the extra point here. 11:32 to go. Scoring has come in bunches here for Minot North. Olsen, the fellow senior, along with many others. The hold is good. Olsen's kick is good as well. So that makes it 21-0 on your BNC National Bank scoreboard. We're going to take a short break, run outside, squeegee the windows as I've been doing throughout, and be back after a quick break.
Jersey Mike slices your sub right in front of you, see? The slicer, the meat and cheese, it has a rhythm.
This is the rhythm of the slice. The slice, oh yeah. The rhythm of the slice. This is the rhythm of the slice. The slice, oh yeah.
Order for Danny? Sliced right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. A sub above.
There we go, right back to normal. Thank you, Logan, our camera guy tonight, doing an excellent job making sure everybody's that's at home in a warm, comfy living room. Appreciate you joining us here on PSP Network's coverage of Friday Night Football. We've got football all around the great state, and also tomorrow night we've got a few games. But Corey, how about Minot North tonight?
Yeah, they're rolling. We talked about how are they going to come off that high of a win last week. What kind of mentality are they going to have? And they've really showed no signs of slowing down here after the victory last week against Devils Lake.
Nice return by Saylor, the 5'10", 175-pound senior, brings it out to the 32-yard line. And the one thing that every football coach preaches, Corey, is special teams. It can make or break in a football game, and so far it's been breaking Jamestown.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing. You'd like to have your punt team kind of go out there and try to pin North back a little bit, but the first one was a bobbled snap. The second one, you had a good snap, but you just had those personal protectors get too close to the punter and result in one ricocheting off the back.
Smith hands this one right to Fry. Fry is bouncing around, tackled there again by Evan Berg, and we talk a lot about Evan Berg, the outstanding fullback from Minot North. Pretty good linebacker as well.
Yeah, I mean he's your quintessential fullback linebacker breed when you're looking at guys that play those positions. He's a hard-nosed runner in the fullback, but he's just as hard-nosed playing that middle linebacker spot for their defense as well.
Well, the rain's starting to pick up here on Minot North campus. We apologize for the window. We're doing the best we can here in commercial breaks. This time Schmidt right back to Fry. Fry out to the right side. Bounces off a few, but again we see the nice tackling. Fry actually makes something out of nothing, gains 3 yards.
Yeah, that thing easily could have been a 3-4 yard loss, but he kept his legs going and he kept his eyes downfield to look for that seam he needed to kind of plant that foot and get through. And so he made probably a 3 yard loss into about a 4 yard gain. So that was to make it a manageable third down here for Jamestown.
3rd and 5 from the 36. From the 1-6 Jamestown Blue Jays, all they got to do is keep on winning, and they'll have a chance at the postseason. Tough task here at Minot North. Fry this time settled straight down, loss of about 3, and look at Minot North's defenders just filling that gap.
Yeah, those defensive linemen are doing a great job of getting across the face of those offensive linemen and shooting those gaps and being able to make some tackles. And, it looks like we've got a Fargo North guy.
This is not good.
I said Fargo North. I meant to say Minot North.
It's all good. Coach Holman runs out onto the field. We got a North player down. We will take a short break and be back once we see who it is and if he's able to get up, and once he does. Back to gameplay.
Is it one that made them?
Jersey Mike slices your sub right in front of you, see? The slicer, the meat and cheese. It has a rhythm.
This is the rhythm of the slice. The slice. Oh, yeah. The rhythm of the slice. This is the rhythm of the slice. The slice.
Our apologies to Jersey Mike there. Max Hall was able to get up under his own pressure. He was holding that left arm of his, so hopefully Max is okay. Punt this time is up, and it's a short one, end over end. It's going to be right in Minot North territory, I believe. Takes a bounce at the 42. Bounces out to the 44, so Minot North with excellent field position here. Outtrots Braden Blickery. And, Corey, we've seen a lot of quarterback play this fall. Yep. And Blickery, we talked with Coach Holman a bunch. He says, I get it, he's our quarterback, but this kid's the toughest kid on the team.
Oh, he's about as hard-nosed a quarterback as you've seen in a while. He doesn't shy away from running the ball himself. He'll dive over a pile to score a touchdown. We saw that a couple games ago. He runs that boot to perfection where and he'll tuck it up and run if he thinks he can get some yards. And he's not afraid of contact either. He'll run down the field and he'll try to knock somebody out.
They give it to Cooper Chick again. Cooper Chick picks up a quick little 7 yards, and a player that we want to watch for Jamestown, who you talk about a tough kid, that's Braden Heminger, the 5'8 junior Heminger. 48 tackles, 27 of those being solos. That's a nice defensive player.
Yeah, you when you have a guy like that out there, patrolling the defensive side, and he's obviously one that offenses have to pay attention to, and so sometimes you have a tendency of just running away from guys like that.
Chick again battling. Actually, they faked it. They're going to throw it out to William Bentley. Bentley brings it all the way out to the 27. Nice play fake. Almost got everybody up here in the score booth. But a nice job. Let's take another look at our Ryan Family Dealership instant replay.
Yeah, nice job. As much of a bread and butter run team they are, they run that boot play action pass almost to perfection. Blickery does a great job of selling it too. That's the big thing. The quarter, he does a great job of selling that handoff, and it freezes the linebackers and it allows Bentley to kind of get out in the flat where he's wide open.
Blickery under center this time in split formation. They're going to give it right back to Chick. Chick moves out to his left, gets up the middle, and how about that offensive line all the way 10 yards down the play? Andreas Good and company being a moving company tonight for Cooper Chick.
Yeah, you've got guys that, the Magic City moving company is out there just chewing up real estate, and Chick is just behind him there, and he's untouched for 7 or 8 yards, and before he even has anybody come up in contact, and you've got the offensive line, but then you got Evan Berg up there too. His fullback is kind of leading the charge as well. So there's a plethora of guys that you can get behind there and pick up yards left and right.
Dedman gets the call this time out to the left. Christian Dedman, the outstanding running back, bounces out to the 5, to the 3, to the 1. Did he get in? Christian Dedman, did he? Touchdown, Sentinels. Dedman makes them pay.
Yeah, that was a great run. Dedman did a great job, and we'll have to get the number of the receiver on that side. He did a great job of blocking, and he blocked all the way through. You can see a little blurry, but you can see that Dedman kind of sets it up, and that receiver just stays on the block of that defensive back and allows Dedman to get into the end zone.
How about the balance for Christian Dedman to toe the out-of-bounds line? Great job by Christian. And You see why last year he was arguably one of the better running backs in the state.
Yep.
Olsen again trying to make it 28-0 here on your BNC National Bank scoreboard. Joe is getting all lined up here. Snap is good, holds good. Joe Nelson almost blocked, but hits another one, 28-0 on your BNC National Bank scoreboard. We'll take a short break, get the squeegee out, and be back with more football here on PSP.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on! Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Welcome back into PSP Network. My name is Dallas Hanson alongside Corey McIver. Our camera guy Logan doing a good job tonight as well. Thank you for your patience here. It's starting to pick up. Rain is not going away. It's sticking around. We'll do our best to make sure that window stays clean, and we'll provide you guys the best entertainment Friday night can offer. So far, the entertainment has been the Minot North offense, 4 for 4 with the possessions with the football. They're kicking off now. Jamestown gets the football, going to try to have a good return here, bringing it out all the way to the 34-yard line. That was Aiden Scary. Scary, kind of a speedster on this football team, and out-trots the Jamestown offense, who has struggled a little bit tonight. Carson Schmidt, just a sophomore, getting the start the last few games after QB1 for them went down in just week 2. So the Jamestown Blue Jays got thrown off by that, but kudos to them. They're staying in the game. They're staying fighting. Mr. McIver's coming back in here after wiping down the window. Thank you, Corey. So the Jamestown offense from the 32, 1st and 10, Fry out in the backfield. They're going to do a little screen here. It's to no avail. That'll be incomplete. They were looking for Saylor, who leads them in receiving yards. And just it's been tough sledding for the sophomore Schmidt.
Yeah, you kind of feel bad. You know, he's kind of thrown in after week 2. But, you know, toward the end of the year, you'd like to think that they have, you know, had some things figured out for him. But again, it's all ball safety too. I mean, the ball might be a little slippery, so getting a good grip on the ball when you're throwing is going to be key to the even the short passing game.
Will Bennett joins in the backfield. Bennett gets the football. Look at Will Bennett hit that hole that the offensive line created. Gets 9 yards. So Will Bennett, fresh into the football game, a senior, 5'8", 150, very fast, competitive player.
Yeah, you get some fresh legs in there, and that always helps a little bit too. And we see it a lot with Minot North too. They rotate those running backs in a little bit. So a little different running style that maybe North's defense isn't quite used to. So see if they can take advantage of that.
Schmidt hands it right back off to Bennett. Bennett this time picks up the first down on 3rd down, so a good job by Jamestown. And look at this. They're saying not only can you run at Minot North, but we can as well.
Yeah, Evan Berg came up a little disgusted with himself. He had a chance to meet the ball carrier in the backfield for a loss on the play, and he was able, and the ball carrier was able to just kind of scoot away from slip out of his tackle. So Evan Berg a little frustrated. Looked to see him maybe bounce back and make a play here on this possession.
Well, Liam Fry getting some time off here. We got a fumbled snap. It's on the carpet. Guess who gets it? It's the Minot North Sentinels. Braxton Thompson at the right place, the right time.
Yeah, it's again we've seen it with the snap the snap on the punt. You saw it there. You know, quarterback maybe taking his eyes off the ball a little bit. You know, again, the ball could be a little wet. Not that, you know, not trying to make excuses or anything, but that's just the nature of the beast when you're out there playing in the elements. It's not a dry football like it would be in August and when you're practicing in August and those early games. So that's something that centers, quarterbacks, those people that are going to be handling the football a lot, they have to be mindful of and have to be able to take care of.
Blickery hands it. He's going to fake, looking for Jack Juanette deep. Josiah Jack Juanette trying to track this one down. Incomplete pass. And McIver, that's something we saw a lot of last week, the overthrows.
Yep.
But Blickery was able to connect with Josiah on the underthrows when he finally underthrew him. And Josiah, who can make a lot of plays, Coach Holman calls him the X factor of this offense. So maybe give him a little underthrow, let the kid make a play.
Yeah, take it. And I like the play call.
Me too.
Hey, let's take a shot down the field. You know, this is our second fumble. We've blocked the kick. We've benefited from some snafus on the punting game, and now we've recovered a fumble. Let's go ahead and take a shot down the field and see what happens.
They hand it right back to Cooper Chick. He gains 5 yards, and I'm sure it's tough for Blickery out there to throw the football in this weather, so that's not a knock on him.
Nope.
It's just Josiah can make a lot of plays, and don't be surprised, folks, if you see that same exact play call here in about 3 or 4 plays.
We talked about it last week, too. They went 0 for 3 before they connected on that touchdown pass on the fourth try. So it's just something that you just hope that now and this week they pick it up a little quicker than they did last week.
There is what makes Blickery so special, the hard count Aaron Rodgers style. And you see a Jamestown Blue Jay jump there. He's so good at that, and he's become so savvy with just the hut. Great job here, and it's going to be an encroachment on the defense as we check out our instant replay of that. There he jumped.
Yeah.
And they do that a lot.
It is, and when you have a quarterback that does a really good job of selling that, it's difficult. as a defense, and that just frustrates the heck out of defensive line coaches, because you teach those guys all you got to do is just watch the football. When the ball moves, you move. Don't worry about what the quarterback is saying. Just watch the football.
Blickery hands off to Chick, who's going gloveless tonight. Cooper Chick down to the 15, 14, 13. Make it down right to the, let's say, did he make it to the 10? They're going to say 11, so a good job by Cooper Chick. We don't have official stats up here, but he's got to be closed in on 100 yards.
Yeah, that was a good run. I liked how when he broke out of the pile toward the sideline, he shifted that ball into the sideline side arm in case it got knocked out to go out of bounds. But then the better thing was, as soon as he got contact, he brought that other arm up and he wrapped up the football.
They give it to Chick from the Serve Pro red zone. Chick gives it to the 5. So it's going to be 2nd and, I believe, 3 yards. They're very close to that 1st and goal area from the Serve Pro red zone. 24/7 emergency service, trained technicians, fire and water cleanup and restoration. It's Serve Pro. Rather quick up to the line here on 2nd and 3 for the Sentinels. Ball's on the 6. Blickery under center. Chick dots the eye. They're going to give it right back to Cooper. Cooper is going to bounce off a few defenders. He's going to be close. He's going to be down at the 1 yard line, so it's going to be 1st and goal Sentinels.
That typical Minot North offense. We're just going to move them all down the field. Chick does a great job of following his blocks, and now let's see if they can't reward him.
Gives it to Chick. Chick's going to waltz right into the end zone. Looks like Lawrence Welk out there. Cooper Chick for 6.
Yeah, that was one where if he was going to get hit, it was going to be after he scored the touchdown, which is exactly what he did. He didn't get touched at all until he got into the end zone. So this is a great job. Minot North is definitely firing on all cylinders right now. I think they wanted to come out today and make a statement and kind of make a statement saying, last week we won a close game. It was back and forth, but now let's get back to what we do best and let's run the football and let's have our defense play loose and play with their ears pinned back and go after and cause some turnovers.
Joseph Olsen's extra point is up and good to make it 35-0. 6:03 left. We're going to take a short break. That's your BNC National Bank scoreboard. Thank you for choosing PSP Network.
Not everyone starts their day at the same time or in the same way. But no matter when or how, Ferendry Electric Cooperative is there to help power every moment of it in countless ways. Because whenever it starts, one thing is certain: we never stop. Ferendry Electric Cooperative is a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, your source for power and information.
Welcome back to First Western Bank Field. My name is Dallas Hanson alongside Corey McIver. I want to thank Ryan Family Dealership for helping us out with the instant replay. At Ryan Dealership, the commitment and respect for their customers is as strong today as it was 50 years ago. Experience the difference when you visit one of our 5 locations in Minot and Williston, North Dakota, or simply check them out online at driveryan.com. And Corey, it's been the Minot North driving this offense for 35 points in the first half. Incredible.
Yeah, this is kind of harkens back to what their usual style of play is. And even last week against Devils, they never really deviated from their game plan. They're going to line up and they're going to run the football and they're going to force defenses to play good defense and force them to 3 and outs, because they're not going to make any mistakes to let you capitalize on.
Nice return there by Aiden Scary, who brings it out to the 31-yard line and out trots the Blue Jay offense, who has struggled a little bit tonight. They made some nice moves, Bennett and company, with a few nice runs, but again, a fumble does not help the Blue Jays' efforts, so they're going to have to control the football a little bit here. They're at the 31, 5:55 to go. They can definitely score here, Corey.
Yeah, this is something that if they want any chance of staying in this ball game, they have to put a drive together, and they have to got to be able to put some points on the board.
They give it to Verke. Verke goes for a loss of 1, and he is slow to get up. Monster tackle there by number 55. That's Ethan Howie, 6'4", 245. Howie runs like a man possessed out there, and that time on the wrong end of it was Verke.
Yeah, Howie just has a nose for the football. He makes good plays when it's run at him, but even more impressive, he can track it bound from behind and make tackles as well too. So he just has a motor that just doesn't quit, and that's something you really like as a defensive end.
Speaking of a motor that won't quit, how about Will Bennett getting some nice time in Jamestown, pushing him forward. Bennett gets a great gain of 7-8 yards there. So Bennett, who's getting some PT, doing a good job.
Well, yeah, and that's nice to see from Jamestown. They're not giving up. What you'd like to see out of North is, even though you don't pay attention to the scoreboard. Yeah, it's 35-0, but that doesn't mean that we can rest a little bit here now. If we want to put this thing away, we need a defensive stand like it's 0-0.
Schmidt right back to Bennett. That's going to make it 4th and a long 2 from the 39-yard line. They're going to have to go for it here. Jamestown offense staying on the field. You see sophomore quarterback Carson Schmidt taking instructions here from Coach Nelson, and he's got to be saying, hey, settle down. Let's settle in. 4th and 4. Let's just keep kind of play-by-play, brick-by-brick mentality here for Jamestown.
Yeah, they're kind of, even though there's kind of an urgency of trying to get a score in here before half, you still have some time to get this play off.
We're going to see a wildcat formation here. Fry is now in the quarterback position. Fry's going to look to the right out of pistol. Fry's going to pick up the first down and more. How about a beautiful play from Liam Fry? And my, oh my, Coach Nelson's got a few tricks up the sleeve still.
Yeah, that's not a bad call. I mean, that you're not, your quarterback play is a little lacking with the starter out, and when it's 4th and short like that, get the ball in your playmaker right away and let him create, and that's exactly what Jamestown did. And it looks like we've got a
North
player down on the field there on the far side.
Can you get a number on that?
No, I guess I just saw it now. So it looks like he's 70, 76, maybe 70.
Well, we'll take a short break here as Coach Hellman and medical staff attend to the Minot North player. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back to PSP Network, and we're just seeing Liam Loving, the senior 6'3" offensive defensive lineman, 250 pounds, very slow to get up, Corey.
Yeah, he's limping here. Might have got rolled up a little bit on that tackle. He's doing his best to kind of get himself off the field without any help. But it'd be kind of surprising to see, what kind of shape he's going to be in. You got 4 minutes left here before halftime. You'd like to say, let's just get off the field, get that thing looked at, and if we can get you ready to go for the second half, then so be it. I was kind of saying before we came back from break, that's you never want to see injuries happen in a game, but especially on how good Minot North's offensive line is, and that he's a crucial cog in that offensive line, and so you just really hope that his backup is ready to go here for this next time North has the ball.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what this offense is saying. Now Fry takes another one, the pistol formation. That time gets a loss of 3. We're seeing the Wildcat come alive for the Blue Jays. It's going to make it 2nd and 12 from the 49.
Yeah, you're gonna see that. You're gonna see that Wildcat there. Maybe they're going to come back more traditional, but just something different to throw at North defensively. So they have something else that they need to probably game plan about in the second half.
Well, they don't ask how, they ask how many. Another carry for Fry, as we're seeing a little extracurricular from both teams this time. Fry gets a carry for 3 yards, makes it 3rd and 8. From the 49-yard line. A big third down early on in this football game because on the BNC National Bank scoreboard, 3:13 and counting. You got to get some points on the board if you're the Blue Jays.
Yeah, these are, this is a crucial third down.
Oh, it's huge.
You maybe even think this might even, he might even try to put this thing in the air, because of the down and distance.
Schmidt, he's going to look out to the right. That one just left his hands awkward. Let's take another look on the Ryan Family Dealership instant replay. And again, folks, it is really, really wet out there, and it's just tough sledding for Schmidt right now.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, I like the play call. It was definitely a, kind of a bubble pass. You had the trips on that one side. The guys were blocking. I think if he's able to complete that, he's probably going to get the first down because you had blockers downfield, and the linebackers were kind of late getting over there. But yeah, the pass just kind of sailed on him a little bit. Looks like Jamestown's going to line up and try to at least maybe attempt, try to see if they can catch North jumping here on this 4th and long.
4th and 8 from the 50. Schmidt back to pass, looking. He's going to look to his right. Gets that one completed. Good job, youngster. And that's a completion out to Jaeger Remick. So Remick able to run the curl around, gets a first down for Jamestown, and Blue Jay fans rejoice.
Yeah, that was a good play. I liked it. He stepped back, delivered a nice pass. North kind of dropped into some zone and just kind of left that sideline open, and Remick was able to kind of sit down and just wait for that pass, and quarterback gave him a nice ball.
First down and 10 from the 36 for Jamestown. 2:33 and counting. Schmidt alongside Fry. Schmidt's going to drop back to pass. He's going to look deep. It's going to be way deep. Incomplete pass. He was looking for number 13. That's Brandon Collar. So Collar, one of those players on the wideout position that has a lot of speed, but that time you see it, Corey, just not able to get the correct control to throw the football.
Yeah, I think Schmidt probably wants that pass back.
Yeah.
He was wide open running down that middle area of the field there. So he just put a little too much air underneath that thing, and otherwise, if he would have been able to hit him in stride, that's obviously a big gain for Jamestown.
They give it to Fry on 2nd and 10 from the 36. Fry is met by a wall. Christian Dedman and company making sure Fry knows where he's playing.
Yeah, you got Berg and Dedman sitting there in the middle linebacking spots. They're not going to let a whole lot of stuff. Runners kind of occupy that middle without at least one of them, and then in this case, both of them introducing themselves to the running back. So a great job there by both Berg and Dedman to step up and stuff that play, to give Jamestown a minimal gain on that one.
Don't forget at halftime, folks, we got our Moonlight Home Improvement halftime show. We'll have analysis and more here on PSP Network. Looking back to pass it, Schmidt going deep. It's going to be almost picked off. Beautiful play defensively. Almost getting that was Luke Richardson, the sophomore. And again, Schmidt just let that one fly.
Yeah, that was a great job by Luke, just to kind of play that deep half as a free safety and just wait until the ball was in the air. But he made a good effort for that. Almost came up with a nice interception. But a great job there by Minot North and coverage, sitting back in their zones and not allowing the quarterback to kind of pick them apart.
4th and 9 for Jamestown. Schmidt back to pass, looking, debating, tries to go over the middle, and it's picked off. Nice play by Minot North. Picking that off was Cole Richardson. Richardson still alive here, brings it all the way out to the 42-yard line. We got a lot going on here, folks. Multiple plays, multiple flags, a player down. What is going on out there? My apologies. That was actually number 30 who picked that off. It's tough to see up here. Brady Vigstead with the interception. Let's take another look here. The officials are getting together. A lot of flags and a player down.
It almost looked. I think that was Tucker Allen, their tight end that they like to target. He quarterback forced him up in the air, and he took a shot from behind, a good clean hit that resulted in the interception. And then I think they're going to get Jamestown for a late hit out of bounds. Tackling him out of bounds after he stepped out. So. Another turnover, for North. I think when you include the punts there, that's 4 turnovers that they've got in the first half, and they've the first 3 have resulted in touchdowns, and we'll see what happens with this 4th one.
Blickery fakes, looks out to the right. It's going to be completed. Nice job. Pass to William Bentley. Bentley's tackled at the 30, so Bentley gets the first down and more. And Blickery didn't fool me that time, Corey. We got that one. 1:20 and counting, as you're saying, partner. They got to hurry this thing up.
Yeah, they're going no huddle here. They're going to get the ball. They're going to get the ball going here.
Blickery under center. Hands it off here. I believe that's Cooper Chick. Chick bounces out to the right now, back to the middle. Nice job there that's Harrison Schaefer. Again, it's hard to see up here from the booth. Schaefer brings it down to the, I believe, 10-yard line. They're looking for the referees to get the football set here as they now are in the Serve Pro red zone. 1st and 10. Ball is on the 9-yard line. Blickery under center. Schaefer in the backfield. They give it right back to Schaefer. Schaefer cuts it out. Can he get in? He will. Touchdown, Sentinels, and it's Harrison Schaefer this time.
Yeah, you had in the backfield there. You had your backup fullback and another running back in Schaefer, and he just does a great job of he's following his blockers, and he sees that cutback seam, and as soon as he sees it open, he plants and he gets downhill and he gets himself in the end zone for a touchdown.
We've seen Harrison Schaefer be the starting running back for this Minot North team, so he's another one in this musical chairs, if you will, of running backs in that backfield.
Yeah, again, you're going to see a steady stream of rotation probably in the running back position in the second half, just trying to keep guys fresh, keep guys healthy, and then just it gives you added depth for the playoffs.
Joseph Olson makes it 42-0, 107 left here in the first half. It's been Minot North all night. We'll be back after a short break.
You worked hard, saved well, and invested wisely. Whether it's paying for a child's education, taking the family trip you've dreamed of, giving back to the community, or funding a confident retirement, we can help you reach your goals. We are passionate about helping you make smart decisions about your spending and saving so you can feel confident about the future while enjoying life today. Together, we can design a personalized plan that takes into account your short and long-term needs and wants, but is flexible enough to adjust as your life changes.
Well, the weatherman was right, Mr. McIver. It's going to rain, and it's going to rain hard. It's starting to come down in sheets here at beautiful campus of Minot North High School. My name is Dallas Hanson alongside Corey McIver. Coming up in 1 minute and 7 seconds, the Moonlight Home Improvement halftime show. And that halftime show, we're going to have to talk about this potent offense from Minot North.
Yeah, they're really firing on all cylinders right now, and so that's one thing you're going to want to see here in the second half. I think you're going to see some more rotating players in and out in the second half if you're Minot North offensively. Again, you want to see what kind of depth you're going to have for the playoffs, and then you're also going to want to make sure kids are injury-free going into the playoffs as well.
Well, Joseph Olson makes a rare mistake there, kicked it out of bounds. It landed on the 11-yard line, so that's a penalty, and that's going to move the Jamestown offense up forward. They've got one timeout left here, 1:07 to go until halftime, and they put together a nice drive last time, but it's music to their ears the way they handled that thing. We saw Fry get a few passes, and also Carson Schmidt able to drop back, and he hit one, but we've seen a little more struggling as he did throw the pick. But it's still going to be on the 35-yard line here. Here go the Blue Jays from Jamestown. Schmidt in the shotgun formation. They're going to hand off again to Will Bennett. Bennett's going to get a gain of 3 yards. So it looks like they might just be running this out. Oh, no, we've got another Minot North player slow to get up. Excuse me, that's a Blue Jay.
Yep.
Andreas Good on the tackle there. Medical staff is running out here. It's been a lot of injuries. You hate to see that. I was out on the field before the football game and tested out the turf a little myself, and it's slick out there, but again, I didn't have cleats on, but the field is drenched as it's been raining on again, off again all day here in Minot.
Yeah, you look at these new turf fields and you wonder what it's going to be like when they get wet, and you know they have some nice drainage. You know, with these new fields they have the nice drainage, but still, that drainage can only keep up so much. When you have a steady rain like this, you're gonna have some slick turf, and so the footwork of the guys out there playing, you got to keep your feet underneath you. You can't really take too wide of a step and plant, because you run the risk of slipping, and then that's when you could have that's when you could roll an ankle or a knee or something like that could get out of whack. But it's nice to see him get up and kind of get down on his own. But I did notice that Liam Loving did kind of get some help into the gator there. He's sitting there in front of us, and you probably think that maybe that probably means his night's probably over for playing here tonight. But you just kind of hopefully the injury's not too bad that it keeps him out of the playoffs. And if it's something that they need to rest him next week when they're in their last game of the season, then that's what you need to do, as long as it means he's fresh and ready to go for the playoffs.
Another handoff to Bennett there, and as we were awaiting to see how that injured player was, we have 2 games tomorrow night right here on PSP Network presented by Bones Barbecue. So not only do we have Thursday night football, we've got Friday night football as well. 2 games coming at you live right here on the PSP Network. 3rd and 6, Corey, 30 seconds and counting. The clock should be rolling. They got to get it. What's the score? 35 or below? 30 or below?
Yeah, I think we're gonna see running clock here in the start of the second half. So if you're Minot North, that's what you want to see that. But Jamestown, I think you're trying to get the clock out here and get into halftime and see if you can't make some adjustments here going into the second half.
Bennett slips that time, and it's going to bring up 4th down. It's not going to matter, as the BNC National Bank scoreboard is going to reach halftime here from First Western Bank Field. Coming up after a short break, Moonlight Home Improvement. Oh, Moonlight, we love you so much. Moonlight Home Improvement halftime show coming up after a short break from our valued sponsors here at PSP Network.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Not everyone starts their day at the same time or in the same way. But no matter when or how, Ferendry Electric Cooperative is there to help power every moment of it in countless ways. Because whenever it starts, one thing is certain. We never stop. Ferendry Electric Cooperative is a Touchstone Energy Cooperative, your source for power and information.
If you're in the Minot area and looking for a rental, start here. I just moved and had no idea where to begin, but then I found Creative Property Management. They've got the most listings in town, apartments, townhomes, even single-family homes. They made it easy, helped me find a place that felt like home, and their 24/7 maintenance means no stress. Whether you're new to the area or just ready for a change, book a tour with CPM today.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
When facing disaster, it's not just the things we lose, but the memories. But there's hope. ServPro, with decades of experience in Minot and Bismarck, is always ready. Our certified professionals don't just restore homes, they rebuild lives. Because to us, you're not just a client, you're family.
Welcome back to our Moonlight Home Improvement Halftime Show. Moonlight Home Repair is your home renovation specialist in the Magic City. If you've been putting off that basement, kitchen, bathroom, or any interior renovation, now is the time to book your free estimate with MHI. And listen to this, folks. Mention PSP Network and get up to 10% off your project's invoice. Call Drew now at Moonlight Home Improvement. That's 701-721-4612 or head to moonlighthomeimprovement.com. Right now, it's been all Minot North 42 against Jamestown 0. Corey, what'd you see in the first half?
Well, we just kind of saw the typical Minot North offense where we're just going to take the ball and we're going to control the line of scrimmage, we're going to control the time of possession, and then when we get down there, we're going to punch it in the end zone, and we saw exactly that in the first half. And then we talked about our keys to the game for Jamestown was no turnovers, and they had 4 turnovers that ended up resulting in some points for Minot North. So we kind of, what we saw in the first half, we kind of maybe expected to see, and now, so the big thing here coming out of halftime, obviously Jamestown is going to want to see if they can't get some kind of sustainable drive going that could result in a score or two. And if you're Minot North, we don't want to let off the gas quite yet. I mean, yeah, we're up, we're up 42-0, but that doesn't mean we go into coast mode in the second half and we just get through the rest of the game. We want to still kind of work on. There's things we still want to work on. Get ready for Dickinson next week. Get ready for the playoffs. But I think the main emphasis for Minot North right now is we want to make sure everybody gets out of this game healthy. We've seen a couple of Sentinels go down with injury. Haven't seen Max Hall come back into the game. I don't know if Loving's going to be coming back in either. Again, those are things that you just hope that, resting them for the rest of this one, maybe the game next week, and so they're ready to go and they're healthy for the playoff run. You kind of hope that that's the case. But if you're Minot North, you want to just make sure everybody gets out of this game healthy, and let's just rotate guys in the second half, give guys experience. So if need be, if we need to call on them in the playoffs, they're ready to come in and perform.
You're listening to our Moonlight Home Improvement Halftime Show. Make sure to call Drew today, 701-721-4612, or head to moonlighthomeimprovement.com and mention PSP Network. Get up to 10% off your project's invoice when he's looking at repairing that basement, kitchen, or bathroom. Any interior renovation, Moonlight Home Improvement's your place to be. Well, Corey, we've seen Cooper Chick get the call at running back, Harrison Schaefer, Christian Deadman, Kine Hannon, Evan Berg, Leon Holzer. Is there anybody else to mention that could touch the ball at running back?
I'm sure there's a few guys that they can look back and have in there and run. But yeah, I think you're gonna probably see that you saw a lot of rotation in the first half. You're going to see a lot more of it here in the second half. I'd be willing to bet that you're going to probably see some of that starting unit at least start the second half.
Yeah.
Give them a couple of possessions, and then you're going to start to slowly see guys rotate in and out, both offensively and defensively. Keep guys fresh, keep guys ready to go for the playoff run.
Well, a player that kind of surprised us up here in the booth was Will Bennett. Nice running back for Jamestown Blue Jays. Will wears number 21. He's a senior. But we've seen a lot of Bennett and we've seen a lot of Fry. Both have had good plays.
Yeah, they're definitely leaning on those two a lot on the offense. When they go into Wildcat, they got both of those guys in the backfield. They're probably going to lean on those guys again here in the second half. And if you're Minot North, you know that. Go ahead and if you want to be you've got a cushion score-wise. If you want to come up and be maybe a little aggressive on a couple plays here and there and see what you can do there, knowing that if you give up a big play, your defense will be able to rally behind that and help you out. But, go ahead and take a couple risks, take a couple chances here in the second half, see what happens, see if you can't get a few more turnovers.
Well, here at PSP Network, we value our student athletes a lot. And one of those things we like to do is have a weekly player spotlight. And what's fun about this is we have nominations from all of our broadcasters here at PSP. The talent crew nominates. And then we leave it up to you at home on our social media pages. So make sure you like PSP Network on all Facebook, Instagram, wherever you might find your news. And you get to vote. That's right. You get to vote by leaving a comment of who you think our player of the week should be. This week's player of the week is...
It's time for this week's PSP Network Player Performance of the Week. Powered by the Aggie Foundation and Minot State University. Congratulations to this week's nominees on Big Time Games. The votes are in. And this week's Player Performance of the Week belongs to... Make sure to like and follow the PSP Network on all social media platforms. And watch for next week's PSP Network Player Performance of the Week, powered by the Aggie Foundation and Minot State University. PSP Network, it's game day.
The Aggie Foundation is a 501c3. Our mission is to really help out the communities that allow us in for charitable gaming.
We are so thankful for Aggie Foundation for giving us the $2,500.
I can't thank the Aggie Foundation enough for what they've done.
Aggie Foundation has been just a great partner for our community.
Some of these programs wouldn't be able to continue on without funding from programs like this.
We're always looking for new partners, new communities to be in. If we can make an impact in that community, we will.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by... Like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Today, we deliver more wonderful birthdays at Trinity Health Family Birth Center. We offer all new private, family-centered suites. Our maternity team provides more personalized support, advanced care, and the reassurances of a NICU and a neonatologist on staff. Take a virtual tour at trinityhealth.org/Family Birth Center. Trinity Health, making more possible.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold up. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Hi, Carson.
What's up, guys?
What you doing?
Just helping out with the local food drive, looking for some more donations. What are you guys up to?
We're helping too. Look what we collected.
Well done. That's the spirit.
That's because we're building character.
You guys are characters, all right.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Giving back to the community is one of the guiding principles at First Western Bank.
First Western, you can bank on us.
Breathe in. I can't believe I wrecked my car.
There's some things in life we can't control, but what's important is how we respond. At Jerome's Collision Center, they provide the highest quality of service, assuring the job gets done stress-free and making it feel like a breath of fresh air. And to give you peace of mind, they handle the insurance.
Are you even a therapist?
Don't worry about it. Jerome's, they're the experts. Jerome's.
Welcome back to our Moonlight Home Improvement halftime show. Make sure to check out Moonlight Home Improvement. They're your home renovation specialist in the Magic City. Call Drew today at 701-721-4612 or head to moonlighthomeimprovement.com. Corey, the teams are making their way back onto the field. Let's put the coaching cap on you right now. And if you're head coach of the Jamestown Blue Jays and Bill Nelson, what did you tell your kids at half?
Well, I think they other than the first drive that was a 3, the first couple drives that they didn't, they didn't gain a whole lot of yards, and then they had the miscues on the punting. The drives after that, they had some success with, and they were gaining some yards, and they were forcing Minot North to play defense a little bit longer. So, and just a few miscues with balls in the air, and the quarterback did make a nice pass to Remick on the sideline there. So there were some positive things to take out of. The thing is, can we put them together, and can we get a drive, and can we result can that drive result in some points on the board, preferably a touchdown.
How about Coach Holman in Minot North?
Coach Holman, I think if you're Minot North right now, I think it's like it's the same thing. We're gonna keep the ball on the ground. We're gonna run the ball. We're gonna keep the clock running. We're gonna sub guys in and out. We're gonna get guys in to get some experience. So you guys on the sideline, be paying attention. Be ready when your name's called. Get out there and for 2, 3, 4 plays, however much you're out there, show us what you can do, because again, it's not, we know what the 1s and 2s can do. It's the 3s and 4s, those guys that might have to be thrown in an emergency situation. Can we trust in you to be able to produce if you need to go in a playoff game when we need a big play? So look for the 3s and 4s to get a lot of rotation, a lot of play in the second half, just to see what they can do against the the opposing ones and twos.
Well, we could see a new quarterback here for Minot North as we see the backup taking a few snaps here. Don't forget, tomorrow night, Bones Barbecue Sauce presents PSP Network's Friday Night Football. Killdeer versus Central McLean. That promises to be a fun one. Killdeer is one of the top teams in the state. And TGU versus MLS in 9-man. I love a good 9-man game, Corey. I don't know about you.
Yeah, those 9-man games, they're fun. Growing up, I played 11-man in Wahpeton, and I didn't really get to see a 9-man game until I got out to my first teaching job out in Plaza, and our boys were co-op with partial, and so got introduced to some 9-man there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun I coached it when I was in Berthold, and so it's a lot of fun to coach, a lot of fun to play.
Jamestown gets the football to kick us off. Nice return already by Aiden Scary. Scary brings it out to the 39-yard line, and Scary, who's shown some speed here specifically on the returns.
Yeah, and that's crucial too for Jamestown. Get yourself a good return on either a punt or a kick, and give yourself some decent field position. And now Minot North looks like they have a whole new 11 guys out there on defense. So we're gonna have to really study up on the roster to make sure get all these names of everybody out there. So right off the bat, you see Minot North taking advantage of the score and the situation to get some of these younger guys out there and some experience.
Well, they're drying off the football right now for Jamestown. If you're wondering what's happening, referees get the new fresh drive ball for about 10 seconds probably, and then it'll be wet again. But it's going to be Will Bennett in the backfield with Carson Schmidt. First possession here in the second half for the Blue Jays. Schmidt back to pass. Another screen. It gets completed this time to Saylor. Saylor's off to the races. Nice job by Saylor to pick up the first down and more.
Yeah, that was a good job there. Good pickup. Looks like number 3, Jesse Vetter, was the guy that kind of saved probably the touchdown there. But that was a good play call. A nice blocking there by the receivers, kind of just a comeback screen and off to the races there. And had not Vetter been able to take him down there at the legs, he probably would have scored on that play.
Good start by the sophomore quarterback that is Carson Schmidt. He hands off this time to Bennett. Bennett's going to barrel his way forward for about a gain of 3 yards, brings up 2nd and 7.
Yep, good back-to-back plays there for Jamestown. Has some success. Really like to see maybe this second squad of the Sentinels to kind of buckle up here a little bit, because Jamestown's going to want to try to score here. So if you're North, you kind of want to maybe try to keep the shutout there if you want.
2nd and 6 from the 45. Bennett this time up the left side, heads back to the middle, picks up the first down and more. Good job by William Bennett.
Yeah, good. This is kind of what I was talking about at the break there at halftime. This is kind of what we want. The coaching staff, Jamestown, this is what they wanted to see here coming out at halftime. Let's get a drive together here. We're having some success. We're moving the ball. We're on the north side of the 50. Let's see if we can't finish this thing in the end zone.
1st and 10 from the 35. Schmidt again right back to Bennett. Bennett's got some open space. Nice tackle there by the Sentinels, trying to contain Bennett, who's been running free and wild in this second half. It was tackled by Connor Christopher, the sophomore. So like you alluded to, Corey, getting some of these youngsters some reps here in a big game, a big rainy game, and up 42-0. Why not?
Yep. Get the guys, get them experience, because again, these are guys that you may have to plug in a crucial spot.
Oh, exactly.
In the playoffs here if you want to make a deep run.
Schmidt back to Bennett again. Sound like a broken record. Bennett that time meets a Sentinel face-to-face. He picks up the first down. They get it down to the 28-yard line. Jamestown kind of showing a halfway no huddle. The coaches, we can see him from here saying, guys, we got to hurry up, get on the football. 1st and 10 here for Jamestown. 9:40 and counting. The clock will run no matter what. So they got it on the 18. 1st and 10. Schmidt right back to Bennett again, and this time the Sentinels scarfed that one up. On the tackle was Lavelle Harlan. So good job there by Mr. Harlan to scout out Bennett and get a stop.
Yeah, that was a good job there by Harlan, senior, 6 foot, 245 pound defensive lineman there. Kind of shot the gap, was able to get Bennett in the backfield, not allowing him to kind of get going. And get into space. So a good job there of forcing them behind the sticks here on 2nd down.
2nd and 11 from the 20. Little reverse action here for Collar. Collar, nice little move inside. He gets it right back to the original line of scrimmage. And speaking of being great in what they've done here tonight. How about one of our sponsors, Minot State University? The best way to predict your future is to create it. With over 100 areas of study at Minot State, you'll earn the degree for the career you desire. With more than 96% of recent Minot grads employed or continuing their education, MSU grads get jobs, period. Minot State University, be seen, be heard, be you. 3rd and 9 from the 17 for the Blue Jays, looking for their first score of the football game. Schmidt back to pass, looks to his right. He's going to go deep. It's going to be in and out of the hands. Another interception. He was trying to find Cowler, but it's picked off by the Sentinels, and that's just been the luck tonight for Jamestown.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because Cowler was right there, sat down, good ball, got it over the linebacker, got it right to his receiver, and just slipped right out of his hands into looked like number 30. Vigstead kind of was the beneficiary of that tip pass there. So. A great job by that second-string defense to kind of bend, don't break, and get themselves in the turnover mix as well. So now we, again, just like we saw a whole new squad on defense, we see a whole new squad on offense led by backup quarterback Xander Clean.
Clean coming into the football game, wears number 14, is a sophomore, 5'7", 150 pounds. Great job there by Brady Vigstead to get the INT to get the Sentinels the football back. Handoff play this time. We got a flag on the play. They give it to number 23. That's Luke Richardson. So Luke able to make some, but I have a feeling this one might be coming back.
Yeah, this might be. This was kind of in the area of hold, and that's exactly what the referee called there, and holding there on North. So it's going to back them up. But a good first play there. Richardson was able to kind of get around the corner, and the North did a great job of kind of sealing it up and allowing him a running lane. Up the sideline there. Just the unfortunate thing was that holding, so it's going to back them up 10 yards, and they're going to have to do it all over again.
Let's take a look at this interception and give Brady Vigstead his flowers here as you see him play the ball really well, and that's good anticipation there from the outstanding sophomore.
Yeah, just did a great job of just kind of sitting. He didn't come up forward like some guys would kind of break up onto the receiver like that, but did a great job and more importantly, kind of settled and made sure he caught the ball before he started running.
So Xander Clean, hands off this time. Stopped. Well, maybe go down, young son. He's going to be very close to a safety. Actually, they're going to mark him at the original line when the referee blew the whistle at the 5-yard line. But it's kind of nice to see some of these young Sentinels, and fans can see what they have to offer here in the future.
Yeah, well, and like you said, with so many seniors that they have on the roster, they're going to have some. They're definitely going to have some holes to fill. You know that Cooper Chick is probably going to be coming back as the starting running back, but who are the guys that are going to be his backups? Because you got Dedman that's going to be graduating. You got Evan Berg, his fullback, is going to be graduating as well. So, who are those guys that are going to be able to step up and help carry the load next year or even into the playoffs?
2nd and 20 now for Minot North. They hand it off again. Look at the legs on Luke Richardson. This time brings it out almost to the 25. He will. So good job there by Richardson to make something out of nothing, and that's a first down for the Sentinels.
Yeah, you don't normally dial up the run play or the run call when you're 2nd, 3rd long like that, but hey,
Coach Holman does.
Richardson did a great job, just like in that first down play that got called back from the holding penalty. He was able to get around the corner, and there was nobody there. The Sentinels did a great job of blocking it. And the defenders didn't get over there in time, and Richardson just scampered up the sideline and was able to get the first down.
First down and 10, balls on the 25, 6:30 and counting on our BNC National Bank scoreboard. Clean, hands off to the fullback this time. Goes for a carry of 3 yards. A lot of new faces right now into the football game for Minot North. That was Scott Triplett there on the carry. Thank you, partner. So the West is going to be won tonight by Minot North Sentinels. We talk about this program 2 years in. Coach Holman, they went a long ways last year, but they got a scare last week, and we talked about in our Valvoline Oil Change pregame show, how would they come back after that giant high, and so far they've come back great.
Yeah, they've put that game from last week. They learned from the mistakes that they made. Of not giving up, I shouldn't say giving up, but just not being complacent. Hey, we're up by 3 scores. and then they have some miscues defensively that allows Devils Lake to get back into the game. But then when they needed to, their defense stepped up and they got them the win. Here we've seen it from the get-go. We're not going to have any let up on the defensive side of the ball. We're gonna play 4 quarters of football. It doesn't matter if it's the starting 11 or the backups. We are expecting our defense to go out and either force 4 and outs, 3 and outs, or turnovers, and that's exactly what we've seen the Sentinel defense do tonight.
3rd and 5 from the 30 here for Minot North. Clean under center, almost fumbled the snap. Instead, he rolls out to his left. Clean's going to keep it this time. Got a clean way to the first down marker. So Clean picks up the first down and more. And how about this nice player that they have at the backup quarterback position, the sophomore Xander Clean.
The nice thing is, as the backup, you watch Blickery run, the first team offense. You watch him, how the mechanics are on that boot play. And then, it almost like he's doing the exact same thing that Blickery's doing. And it's still fooling the defense. And he was able to kind of get out, and I think the receivers kind of got caught up there in the wash, and they weren't able to kind of get out in their routes, but he was able to kind of tuck that ball in and scamper and get himself a first down.
Clean now under center, got twins right. Hands off to his running back, Richardson again. Richardson's going to stumble forward, almost picks up the first down. Nice play. And you know what else is nice, Corey? The UPS store, located on South Broadway in Minot. They're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 7, and Saturday, 8:30 to 3. The UPS store located in Marketplace Foods Plaza. For all your packaging and shipping needs, make sure to check out the UPS store. That first half went flying by. So I'm not able to get all our ad reads in, so apologize to a few of those sponsors, but we'll make sure we get them in. But I'm surprised tonight about the hard running that Luke Richardson has provided.
Yeah, this second offensive unit, there hasn't been a whole lot of drop off from the first unit. These guys go up against these number ones all the time in practice, so they learn early on. If you don't run hard, you're going to pay. You're going to hear about it in practice. So you want to when you're going up against the likes of Evan Berg and Christian Dedman in that defensive line, that starting defensive line. Yeah, if you don't give them 100% in practice and run the ball hard, they're going to eat you up, and they probably have been told that. So so when they get into a game situation, the defensive 11 from Jamestown is nothing compared to what they go up against in practice. At least that's the mentality that you need to have if you're this second squad for the Minot North offense.
Scott Triplett picked up the first down for the Sentinels. 1st and 10 from the 49. Clean right back to Richardson. This time bounces it out to the left. Richardson, look at the wheels on this kid. Picks up the first down and more. So that'll be a fresh set of downs. And you know what's nice on a nice rainy, cold night? A nice pizza from Planet Pizza. The best pizza on the planet is Planet Pizza. They've been around for over 25 years. Hard to believe. And they have the largest laser tag playground in the region, a giant lunch buffet, and they deliver. Call now. That's Planet Pizza, 701-852-1700. Appreciate the Mueller boys. They got the game on there, Planet Pizza, I'm sure. All the games. We got a lot of games here on PSP tonight. So thank you for joining us here. My name is Dallas Sanson alongside Corey McIver. Clean again, going with twins right this time. Fumbles the snap. Clean picks it up. Thought about throwing it to his running back there. Did you see that?
Yeah, he did fumble the snap. That's one thing we talked about in pregame. What's that exchange going to be like?
Yeah.
And that's really that's the first time we've really seen a miscue from Minot North's offense. But yeah, once he did drop down to his knees. So once he does it in high school, at least once he goes down to his knees, and touches the ball, it's a dead ball. So even if he was able to get it back to his running back or somebody from Jamestown knocked it out of his hands, it's still a dead ball. It's still going to be Minot North's ball. So just kind of got a little too excited there, I think, on that one. Kind of stepped away from the center really before he got the good exchange there on the snap. So as a quarterback, especially when the ball's wet and the elements like this, you want to make sure you stay there, make sure you get the ball before you go back and do anything with it.
Clean this time hands it off to Richardson. A clean handoff, and he brings it all the way up to the 6-yard line. Be third and short here, 1:10 and counting on your BNC National Bank scoreboard, 42-0 still. Blue Jays trying to get a stop here on defense. They've got a few subs in as well. Just under 1 minute left. Don't forget, tomorrow night we'll have 3 games here on PSP Network. I got to say, we were watching Xander Clean take some snaps here at halftime, and he's done a good job catching rhythm of this offense and keeping just one snap out of his hands. This time they go with the end around out to Dawson Leham. Leham all the way down to the 10-yard line. How about Dawson making him pay this time?
Yeah, that was a good misdirection play there, and really kind of you kind of felt bad for the defender over there in Jamestown, because the receiver from North did a great job just running almost like a fly route.
Yeah.
And the defender just kind of ran step for step, didn't even realize that the ball carrier was behind him. So a good job to kind of a good time to kind of dial up that play and get down there, and this second unit of the offense is, they want nothing more than to get one in the end zone themselves and tack another 6 points on the board. So that this group is going to want to, it doesn't matter who the ball carrier is, they're going to want to get somebody into the end zone.
Well, that's the end of 3 right now. Sentinels 42, Blue Jays 0 on your BNC National Bank scoreboard. We'll be back with fourth quarter action here from First Western Bank Field.
Sun Manufacturing is hiring exceptional welders, carpenters, assembly technicians, and coating technicians. If you're right for Sun, Sun is right for you. Since 1939, we've been making quality equipment and parts for the oil field and beyond. We're world-class, family-owned, and all-American. And as our business grows, we need to grow our team in Newburgh, North Dakota. Sun Manufacturing offers great pay, great benefits, and a great community to raise a family. Apply today.
Welcome back into PSB Network's coverage of Friday Night Football. My name is Dallas Hanson alongside the great, the powerful Corey McIver. We got some scores to report here in AA. Minot right now up 20-6 against Mandan. That's the end of the first half. I know Owen Patterson and Bryce Gutneck are over there on the call. Two of the best in the business. And then it was Shanley. How about this score? Number 3 in the state down against West Fargo Cheyenne 35-22. Didn't see that one coming. Just some other scores to report here in AA. Fargo South up right now against Grand Forks. Actually, they won that game. Fargo South a final 20 over Grand Forks Red River 14. Bismarck St. Mary's all over Watford City tonight 35-12. That's a final as well. And number 2, Kindred. I know Coach Holman's going to be wondering about this one after the game. 39-0 against Wahpeton. 9 minutes left in the third quarter there. So a couple upsets here around the great state of North Dakota.
Yeah, that just shows it doesn't matter who you are or how you're ranked, what your records are. Toward the end of the year, there's teams have enough film on you, they can see tendencies and stuff, and so you're going to have to be able to play, your entire schedule, not just the ones that you think mean something.
Clean hands off to Leon Holzer. Holzer able to pick up a few yards here. Gets it to the Serve Pro red zone. Make sure you check out Serve Pro 24/7 emergency service, fire and water cleanup and restoration. It's Serve Pro. It's nice to see Leon Holzer getting some of the action here. A nice player. A junior running back, linebacker, 5'10", 145. And Corey, to the dismay of a lot of people, this Minot North second group has looked really well, and they're going to be tough again next year.
Yeah, there really has been no drop off from the number 1 squad of offense to these backups here.
Luke Richardson gets in for 6. How about Luke saying, I can do it just like my brother? He scores, making the score even more, 48-0. Richardson with the 6.
That good hard run, Luke Richardson. He really showed a lot of people something here on this drive. He was the main focus on the offense as far as the run game was concerned, and I like how he's able to kind of get around to the outside. And once he does, he's a quick, shifty little runner, and he can kind of get out in space. He's going to be able to run away from some people.
Joseph Olson now on for the extra point. Hold is good. Olson's kick is right down Broadway to make our score on the BNC National Bank scoreboard 49-0. Here on the PSB Network, we want to thank a few people that made tonight possible. Northern Plains Heating and Air. There's no other choice to seal your heating and air game than Northern Plains Heating and Air. Call Dylan today at 222-2155 to make sure that furnace is ready for the winter months ahead. New installation upgrades and all your furnace needs. Again, that's Dylan at Northern Plains Heating and Air, 222-2155. Also want to thank Farstead Oil. Contact Farstead Oil today to find out how their skilled sales team can help you achieve your wholesale fuel, mobile lubricants, and DEF needs. Proudly serving North Dakota, Montana, and western Minnesota since 1938 and committed to outstanding customer service, and they are reliable as it comes. That's Farstead Oil. So Jamestown going to have a chance here with 10:30 left to to put some points up on the board, maybe make that bus ride back to Jamestown a little bit easier. It's always tough when your starting quarterback goes out week 2, one of your better players, but they've continued to fight, and they've continued. We have not seen them let up at all. They're just running into a nice team that is Minot North.
Yeah, that's the thing. You still have a pretty good ball club.
Fumble on the play, bobbled the snap. That was Aiden Scary, and he was able to maintain that. Sorry, Corey. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, you still have a good ball club in Jamestown, and yeah, you lose your starting quarterback, but you're still able to kind of manage and fight and keep yourself relevant at least throughout the season. Yeah, and the unfortunate thing is you just kind of run into a buzzsaw that's Minot North, and you try as you will, you just don't have you just can't answer big play and blow after blow like you do against a team like North.
Schmidt still in at quarterback. This time hands off to Liam Fry. Fry, who looked good in the first half, looking good in the second half as well, carries a few Minot North defenders with him, gain of 10 yards, and he's going to pick up the first down for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that was a good hard run. Broke a few tackles there right early at the line of scrimmage, and was able to kind of get his head down and keep the legs going and pick up that first down. But North had some opportunities to kind of stop him after some minimal gain, and they just have to do a little better job of breaking down and grabbing and holding on and allow that pack mentality of everybody run to the football.
Schmidt back to pass, finds a swing route to Fry. Fry's got some space here, out to the 40. Good job there by Liam Fry. And how about Schmidt showing a little moxie here, staying alive?
Yeah, good job there, swinging it out to Fry, and a good block there from the receiver. And he was able to kind of get out in the perimeter and out to the sideline and got ahead of steam and got downhill, and he was able to kind of, had he been able to stay in bounds and break that last tackle, he probably would have been able to get that thing in the end zone.
9:18 and counting, 1st and 10 from the 39 for the Blue Jays from Jamestown. They're going to go with 2 wide receivers on the right, 1 to the left. Schmidt hands it right off up the gut to Fry. Fry's going to be pushed ahead. Good job there by the offensive lineman that is Eli Olson. Kind of see him just push Fry in the back for an extra 2 yards. The Bush push. I saw that on Notre Dame the other day.
Yeah.
Good rewind. That was a great game.
That was a good. Yeah, there's a lot of Notre Dame fans that are not too happy about that no call there by the referees there with Reggie helping out his quarterback.
Old Matt Leinart.
That's just back in the day. That was a team that everybody loved to hate.
Yeah. Little screen pass out here, incomplete. They were looking for Saylor that time. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 6 here from the 35. And Jamestown, they've been reliant on Fry here on this possession. Had some good plays. You can't help but think they'll go back to him.
Yeah, I think Fry's shown that he can pick up, get some large chunk runs here in the second half. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they turn around and either hand it to him or do the exact same thing and just kind of swing him out and just kind of throw it out to him and tell him to kind of get downhill.
Minot North jumps. So add 5 more here. They're almost going to get the first down. It'll be 3rd and 1 after the penalty.
Yeah, there's just those younger guys on defense a little over eager to kind of get something done, and and that's you kind of expect that to happen a little bit. You have to take the good with the bad, and especially these younger guys that don't get a lot of playing time on the varsity level, but still like the effort.
3rd and 1. They're going to QB sneak it here. And they're going to get the first down. Nice job there by Carson Schmidt, who's still playing here. It hasn't been his game so far, but staying alive for head coach Bill Nelson and company. Don't forget, folks, after the game, we're going to have our planning team financial advisor and Shots Crossroads post-game show. We'll have an interview with our Sports Clips player of the game and also interview from the winning coach. Here goes Liam Fry this time. Looking like Jerome Bettis out there. Fry gets it down to the 2-yard line. Mr. Fry.
Yeah, the Fry's, the thing for Jamestown is they're not going to – it doesn't matter if it's the first-team defense or the second-team defense at Minot North. Jamestown's offense is still going to try to – their goal is still try to get in the end zone and try to get points, and Fry's going to do that. He's going to take it upon himself here. They'll probably end up giving him the ball and give him a chance to get in the end zone.
Good call, partner. It's going to be Fry in for 6, so Jamestown gets on the board from the Serve Pro red zone. Sorry about that. We've got a holding here, so knock that one off the board. Holding's going to go against Jamestown. I saw some laundry go. So the officials are going to call this one back. Let's see what our white cap official has to say tonight. He's all bundled up. Yes, it is holding here against Jamestown. That's tough news for the Jamestown Blue Jays as they finally get on the board here, but it's neglected and will be moved back. All the way back to the 12-yard line. So first and goal here from the 12 from the Serve Pro red zone. Schmidt back to pass. He's going to look to his left. Now looks to his right. He's in a little trouble. Throws the end zone. It is completed. Beautiful play from Schmidt all the way over to Van Berkom. Eric Van Berkom, that is. The sophomore scores 6'5", able to score 6 for Jamestown.
Yeah, that's that's a nice little target. You got your two probably main tight ends. You've got a sophomore at 6'5" and Van Berkom that scored the touchdown, and then you got Tucker Allen, the 6'2" junior. Both of them coming back. So those are nice two weapons that can bookend the offensive line. That when you get in a goal line situation or goal to goal situation, you can just throw it up to those two guys and have them go get it.
The extra point is good to make your BNC National Bank scoreboard 49-7. Jamestown hits pay dirt there, as it was Eric Van Berkom, the sophomore. He's going to be a good basketball player, tall kid, 6'5", 185. I want to thank a few of our sponsors. How about that instant replay tonight? Brought to you by Ryan Family Dealership for 50 years. Ryan has been a trusted name for car buyers in Western North Dakota. Shop their entire inventory at driveryan.com or visit one of their 5 locations in Minot and Williston. And our First International Bank and Trust, they were sponsoring timeouts tonight. They're a full-service, family-owned, independent community bank built in the bond between our employees and customers. Founded in 1910 and growing to serve rural and urban communities across Arizona, Minnesota, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Find them online at fibt.com. And the scoreboard tonight was brought to you by PNC National Bank. Your life is busy. We'll make managing your money easy with locations in North Dakota and Arizona. Visit BNC Bank online today. That's bnc.bank. And folks, don't forget, right here on the PSP Network, Friday Night Football, Killdeer versus Central McLean, TGU versus MLS, brought to you by Bones Barbecue Sauce. Love a good Bones Barbecue. Always, that's my go-to on Sundays for football. Kickoff is off. This one's going to be flagged immediately before they even let the kick go. We thinking offsides on the kickoff here?
I think they're going to probably get the kicking team on offsides. They're stepped over the line before the ball was kicked, so we're going to back that up and try it again. And it's too bad too, because that was a pretty good kick.
It was.
Went out the back of the end zone, kind of angled a little bit, so you're kind of worried about it going out of bounds, but it hit the turf and scooted forward right into the end zone. So it was a good kick here, but let's see if the kicker's showing he's got a pretty good leg, so he'd probably be able to do it again.
Kine Hannon is back deep for Minot North alongside Gavin Toby. Two of the speedsters here for Minot North. 5:34 to go here in the football game. Out to kick is Chase Trott, kicker for Jamestown. Chase is going to try to put his leg into this one. Trott, another nice kick here all the way back. Look at that, Corey. My goodness, Trott. Check him out, Minot State. Might be a future kicker here for the Beavers.
Yeah, you get a kicker that can consistently kick it out of the back of the end zone in high school ball, and you force that team to go 80 yards. Not too many teams are capable of doing that. Minot North has shown that they can do that. They took the opening kickoff of the game and went 80 yards for a touchdown. But that's a weapon that teams love that have it. They love it because that forces the offense to start with a long field, and your defense can kind of be a little creative and they can be a little aggressive because they know that they've got a lot of field behind them that offense is trying to gain.
Well, check this out, partner. Third quarterback to play for Minot North. This time it's Ty Iverson, the sophomore. He's going to hand off to Richardson. Again, Richardson's going to be tackled here. Nice job by Jamestown to round him up. It's a little bit about Ty Richardson, 5'9", 140. Plays defensive back along with quarterback. So Minot North really making sure all their kids get reps here. Clock will continue to run. That's nice to see Ty Iverson get in there.
Yeah, it's a younger kid that needs to get some reps on a Friday night because you're losing your starting quarterback to graduation. So now there's going to be a quarterback competition next season. Who's it going to be? So you're going to look for the guy that can control the huddle, control the game, and not turn the ball over.
That time Salyard's the fullback. It's the toss, just goes for a gain of 2 yards, I believe. One of the players on the tackle is number 80. The man that just had the touchdown, Van Berkom. So 3rd and 5 here from the 24 for Minot North. Ty Everson getting some time here at quarterback 1. Good game over across the way here. Minot High 20, Mandan 13, 3 minutes left in the third in that one. Owen Patterson, Bryce Skutnik on the call there for PSP. Iverson under center. He's going to fake this time. He's going to pass. Tries to go with a curl route. Nice defensive effort again by, Mr. Touchdown himself, Van Berkham.
Yeah, when you have Ty Iverson sitting 5'9", short in stature, Kyler Murray, when you have a smaller quarterback like that, you get your hands up. That causes a lot of problems to try to throw that ball over the hands. So you're going to see those, he's going to have some trouble, seeing those open receivers with the defender's hands up. So great job there by Jamestown. Good 3-down stand there, forcing Minot North to punt and get the ball back. Should have some decent field position here for this possession.
The punt team is on for Minot North. 3:28 and counting. 4th and 5. They're going to punt this one. Punt is away, end over end. Goes to the 48. Going to have a fair catch here by Cale Verkey. Right about, not quite the 45. They're going to call it the 44. Don't forget about Corey McIver. He's going to be on the field after the game with our Sports Clips MVP and also our winning head football coach, Coach Holman. Well, Minot North's going to retain that number 1 position here. They've had it since the gates opened on this great football season. It's something to be proud of here for the folks from Minot North. It was a rainy night here. Rain has finally stopped. Nice pass again from Schmidt to Van Berkham for a first down. So Eric Van Berkham, second catch tonight. Picks up the first down for the Blue Jays. Appreciate everybody here joining us on PSB Network. We had the squeegees out, the towels, everything and more to bring you a cold, rainy night of football here. The rain's starting to pick up again. Deep pass here, incomplete. He was looking for Tucker Allen. So Schmidt still dealing here as Allen wasn't able to get away from the defensive back. Let's take another look on our Ryan Family Dealership instant replay here. Great job by the defensive back for Minot North. Going with the fade route. That defensive back on the play was William Hannon, the junior. Plays wide receiver and defensive back. 2nd and 10 from the 46. Schmidt going to pass again. Looking for the deep ball. He's just going to run it himself. Schmidt's got some room. He's going to pick up the first down and more. Schmidt's going to duck out of bounds. Not going to matter. Clock will continue to run. Gets it all the way down to the 26. Good job there by Carson Schmidt, the sophomore, who is going to be coming back next year, and he's just gaining more and more knowledge as the season wore on, and Jamestown fans are going to be happy with that. This kid's got a lot to offer. Might not win his way tonight, but a good lesson learned, and he'll carry that with him for next year and more. 2 to the right, 2 to the left for Schmidt. He drops back to pass. Looking around, debating, now rolls out to his right. Schmidt's got some wheels, picks up a nice block, brings it all the way down to the 21-yard line. That's going to be bringing up 2nd and 5. 2nd and 4, actually. 1:25 and counting here on the clock. Will Jamestown get in one more score? That's a great question. Coach Nelson barking out calls. Blue Jays line up, 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Joining the backfield with Will Bennett. Schmidt back to pass. Heavy rush from Minot North. Schmidt's going to have a way to the alley. Trying to get in. It's going to go just out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Excellent clock management by Schmidt if the clock did stop, but due to the score, it will not. Rain starting to pick up yet again here at Minot North. Just when we thought it stopped, starts to pick up again. It's been a light drizzle setting up shop here for PSB Network, then really started to come down right before kickoff. Kind of stopped halfway through the third, now starting to pick up towards the end of the fourth. Schmidt rolls out to his left, looking, searching for a man in the end zone. It's caught. Did he get his feet in? Let's see what the referee says. He's going to say touchdown. Excellent play by Brennan Collar. Great job to get the feet in bounds and gets a 6 for the Blue Jays. Let's have a look at our Ryan Family Dealership instant replay. Great job by Schmidt. Reaching around for Brandon Cowler, the senior. Nice job getting your feet in there, 1-3. So Jamestown hits pay dirt again as the clock is going to hit zeros on this extra point. And that will be the last play of the evening. Your final on the BNC National Bank scoreboard. Sentinels, number 1 will stay number 1, 49 to the Blue Jays 14. We'll be back with our planning team financial advisors post-game show, Shots Crossroads, along with our MVP, brought to you by Sports Clips. And don't forget about our Magic City Home Leisure move of the game. Corey McIver's down in the rain. He's going to talk to Coach Holman. And who will be our MVP? You're going to have to stick around and wait.
This presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
Welcome back into our planning team financial advisor and Shots Crossroads post-game show. The team huddling up for the end-of-game prayer. You love to see that. Planning team financial advisors, whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business success, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. Visit them online today at planningteam.com. Planning Team Financial Advisors, helping clients work toward financial freedom. And how about Shots Crossroads, your post-game headquarters? Order online today at shotscrossroads.com. Get filled up on their delicious menu that includes the famous number 99. Order online at shotscrossroads.com. Team buses are always welcome. Corey McIver is down there looking for Coach Holman. Let's see if he's got him here. Always a tricky part. I know Coach Holman likes to go into the locker room. We'll see if he's going to do that. It looks like he might. So Coach Holman's going to run in the locker room real quick and then come back out for an interview along with our Sports Clips player of the game. But let's talk a little bit about this game tonight and how interesting it was. We saw the first 4 possessions for Minot North go for 6, and it was all about the running game. We saw the one, the only Cooper Chick, the outstanding junior running back, just score him up, torch him up, had little under 100 yards, I believe, if I was listening to the scoreboard tech next to us. He was trying to get some stats into my ear here, but Cooper Chick was outstanding in the first half. The 5'6", 160-pound running back that got the starting nod tonight. Again, Cooper Chick did a fantastic job, and then it was QB1 for Minot North, Braden Blickery, one of these outstanding senior leaders that has really helped put Minot North on the map. He hit pay dirt on a quarterback screen, which he's done so many times. And then we saw Christian Dedman, another outstanding senior. He scored on a little halfback delay, if you will, from 6 yards out. Christian Dedman, who's coming off of an injury, making the most of this year's senior year, is playing a lot of defense, but now we've seen him in the backfield quite a bit. Halfway through the season, he was on a snap count after that knee injury, but now he's full go, full steam ahead. A few other players to note was, how about Evan Berg, the fullback? Did an outstanding job tonight picking up first downs. Whether it was 3rd and 6, 3rd and 1, Evan Berg got the job done. Josiah Jacquinette, a senior, had a slow night tonight, but still had a nice X factor for Minot North. And then we got to talk about one of the outstanding players, that is Luke Richardson, came out in the second half as the backup to the backup to the backup running back, because they've got plenty of running backs here at Minot North. Luke Richardson, the sophomore, had right around 50 yards of scrimmage in the second half as Coach Holman brought out his second unit in the second half. That was under the instruction of Xander Clean, the backup quarterback, and also Ty Iverson, another sophomore quarterback that got a few reps in the fourth quarter. Also want to talk about Kai Hannon, the outstanding sophomore, scored on the reverse from the wide receiver side. He hit Pater, almost fumbled the football, if you will. Hannon was able to secure that and score. As for Jamestown tonight, points were tough, but they kept their heads hanging high. And I love to see it because sometimes when these kids like this get down early on a football game, some of the unsportsmanlike conducts come out to play, but not for Jamestown. A very well-coached football team. Bill Nelson made sure the kids just kept playing hard, and that's what they did. Carson Schmidt threw a touchdown late to Eric Van Berkom. And also we had a nice play by Liam Fry was able to score as well. So between Fry and Schmidt and Van Berkom, they had a nice game. Also, we got to talk a little bit about Will Bennett, number 21, 5'8" senior. Will came into the game, had a lot of yards, and kind of helped Fry not only carry the team on his back, the football a lot as well, but Bennett came in and added some nice job to also assist with that running game. You've been listening to our planning team financial advisor and Shots Crossroads post-game show. Don't forget, tomorrow night on Friday Night Football here on PSP, we've got some games to offer. And how can you find out what games we're going to offer? Head to psp.network. That's our website. We've got our schedule of lists of things coming and also our events. Basketball season's right around the corner. I know our talent team's really looking forward to that. But also we've got playoff football and a few more games here to cover for football and volleyball season. That's right, we cover it all here at PSP Network. As we wait for Coach Holman and our Sports Clips MVP, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, words from Coach Holman. Look at Corey McIver out there standing with all his buddies. We'll be back after a short break.
Great news! If you're looking for a new vehicle, Ryan Family Dealerships has the best selection we've had in years. You'll find fantastic offers from Nissan, Honda, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Cadillac, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram.
Hold on. Ryan sells Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram?
Yes, we do, and we'd love to sell one to you. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations in Minot and Williston. Get your next vehicle from a name you know and trust. Ryan Family Dealerships.
We often think of frontiers as pages in a history book, a time gone by. But even in this modern world, there are new frontiers to conquer. Whether you're tending the land to grow a better tomorrow or growing a business for new opportunities, the work you do powers the world. Exploring the frontier means stepping forward, shaping the future for yourself and for those around you. First International Bank and Trust, helping you live first, one step at a time.
Whether you're looking for a full-service financial plan or planning for farm or business succession, Planning Team Financial Advisors is here to help you work toward achieving your financial goals. With locations in Bismarck, Garrison, and Center, our full-service team of professionals are dedicated to helping you work towards achieving your financial goals. Visit us online, planningteam.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member of FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through New Edge Advisors, LLC, a registered investment advisor. New Edge Advisors, LLC, and Planning Team Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
How would you like to turn this into this? With Shots Crossroads Fuel to Food Reward Program, you can. Here's how it works. Pick up a fuel tracker card from any of our C-store cashiers. Every time you fill up with gasoline or diesel, use the fuel tracker card to record your gallons. Once you reach 1,000 gallons, you'll be eligible for a $10 gift card to Shots Crossroads Restaurant. Start earning your rewards today at Shots Crossroads.
Welcome back to our Planning Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads post-game show. About to hear from our player of the game, brought to you by Sports Clips. Sports Clips brings you the MVP of this matchup. They're the home to the MVP haircut experience. Nothing comes close to making you feel like an MVP, quite like the MVP experience at Sports Clips. We're about to hear from tonight's Sports Clips player of the game. Appreciate Sports Clips coming on board. We're just now seeing Minot North come out of the locker room. I'm sure Coach Holman's going to be running out like his hair's on fire after this big win. It's Minot North going to maintain that number 1 seed. Here comes Coach Holman. You love to see the hustle here from one of the better head coaches in the area. Coach Holman alongside our Sports Clips MVP. It looks like it might be Mr. Christian Dedman. Very well deserved. I'm going to send it down to Corey here as soon as we can hear. Go ahead, Corey.
Thanks, Dal. Here with Christian Dedman, the MVP of the game. Christian, nice job 2 touchdowns to cap off the last regular season home game here for you.
Yes, sir.
What was it like, coming back off the knee injury you had last year in the playoffs, and then talking with Coach Holman, maybe not being the feature running back anymore, but still being able to contribute a little bit offensively, but mainly focus a little defensively. What was it like to get in the end zone here on the last go around as a senior?
It feels really great. We always love to score, but we'll take it. I'll take whatever I can get.
Yep.
I will, and I don't care how many reps I get or what I do. I just want to play for our team.
Yeah, I know I made a couple comments the last couple weeks about the unselfishness that a lot of not just you, but the guys that are running the ball. It doesn't really matter who gets the credit or who gets the carries. The thing that matters is, can we get points on the board and ultimately get some wins? And now you're number 1 seed in the West, knowing teams have to come to your place in the playoffs. What's that going to be like? I know you still got 1 regular season game left, so we can't look. You don't want to look ahead too far ahead, but playoff-wise, what's it like knowing that you're at home throughout the duration of the playoffs and teams have to come to you?
It feels great. It feels great to have a really good atmosphere, but we're always going to be really focused these playoffs. Yes, sir.
Oh, good. Well, I don't want to waste a whole lot of time. I know it's raining out here. Everybody's wet, tired. Great job. Good luck next week, and good luck in the playoffs.
Thank you.
All right. Coach Holman, come on over here. I know we're all kind of wet, but yeah, when you get a win like this, you can mind a little bit of rain. What was the message to the team this week after an emotional, hard-fought win next week? How was it to get the guys to be at that same level they were at the end of the Devils Lake game last week?
Yeah, we have a mature group, so there wasn't a lot said. We actually thought we played pretty well after watching film. There's little things that we could do better, but we challenged them to come out, and Jamestown's a good football team, and we wanted to come out and score right away and finish drives, and we did a really good job of that in the first quarter.
Yeah, I thought, that first quarter, especially the first half, it seemed like you were doing a great job of rotating guys in, especially offensively in the running back position. Is that something you as a coaching staff, you these last couple games before the playoffs, you kind of want to see what you got coming in off the sideline as far as guys that can give you breaks, or not just in the backfield, but just in different spots in general? The more depth you have and come playoff time, the better off teams are.
Yeah, we know our kids really well, and we wanted to give each kid a chance. We knew it was going to be a physical game with the weather, so carrying the ball, get a couple carries, get a new kid in, get a couple carries, get a new kid in, and that was kind of what we tried to do. We got guys that are really good carrying the football, and we rotated a lot of linemen in too, so it was a good depth-building game for sure.
Yeah, I know you had a couple linemen kind of get dinged up there. Hopefully, injuries not going to be too much of a factor going forward, but going into the last game next week, into the playoffs, what the mindset for you guys? Obviously, making sure injuries aren't going to be a big deal for it. What did you kind of tell the guys going forward here next week against Dickinson into the playoffs, knowing you've got home field advantage here going into the playoffs?
Biggest thing is just get healthy. We told guys get to treatments. We have a great training staff who will take care of our guys. So hopefully we can get everyone back next week and then get into the playoffs healthy. Told them that we were the 1 seed, but we want to go win the title outright. So challenged them. Dickinson's the biggest game of our season. It's next week. So
yeah, well, absolutely. Well, I know the rain's coming down and it's hitting you right in the face. So enjoy this one. Be ready to go next week. Good luck in the playoffs.
Thanks, Corey.
All right, back to you, Dallas.
Great job as always, Corey. Excellent work, as we just heard from Coach Holman, who's done a great job. Him and Corey McIver sharing some laughs here, but our final from Minot North, the campus that's full of rain tonight. Sentinels 49, Blue Jays 14. Appreciate y'all's bearing through the rain, the weather, everything and more. And also a quick shout out to everybody who came by with a squeegee. It was early on, it was just me and the camera guy and McIver, but then we saw a bunch of helping hands up here at Minot North, making sure that the window was clean, ready to go, and we had to call an audible here. And also big shout out to Brent Nelson, the athletic director here at Minot North High School. Really did a good job facilitating. We said, Brent, we got to move our camera in tonight. Can we get some help? And he said, absolutely. So he gave us some more room to run. Also made sure that the lights were dimmed here to help with the background and also with the effects that the window had with having the camera inside. My counterpart, Corey McIver, is making his way up. The rain is really starting to come down now here in the Magic City of Minot, North Dakota. You just heard from our player of the game, brought to you by Sports Clips, was the outstanding senior, running back, linebacker. He plays it all, 6'3". That's number 12, Christian Dedman. And how about the notes there from head coach Holman? And Holman, as he noticed in that interview, the job's not done yet. And that's what I love about Coach Holman. McIver, you're soaking wet, my friend. He's going to put on the headset here as we're wrapping up our Planning Team Financial Advisors and Shots Crossroads post-game show. Corey, you're live. Welcome back. How is it out there?
Well, I tell you what, the limited amount of time I was out there, I'm kind of glad we were up in the booth because it was coming down pretty good. I felt bad for Coach Holman because he's looking right into the rain when I'm talking to him. After we were done, I told him, we probably could have just switched, turned around a little bit. So, but no, it was a good win for him. He was pleased with the performance. The big thing, like he said, the big key was, can we get the injury bug taken care of?
Yeah.
And if we have to rest guys next week against Dickinson, we're going to do that. And then we're going to be healthy for the playoffs.
Well, tonight's move of the game is brought to you by Magic City Home Leisure. It's time to bring that spa to your home. Make sure to stop into the best customer service place and the best place to find a spool, Michael Phelps swim spa, a hot tub, a billiards table for that rec room. Know a place like home, and that's Magic City Home Leisure right here in the Magic City of Minot, North Dakota. Again, this is the Magic City Home Leisure move of the game. Tonight's Magic City Home Leisure move of the game was the Christian Dedman run where he just belittled the guy and ran right over him for a touchdown. Christian Dedman, a force to reckon with.
Yeah, and like you said in the interview, just that's really the first time I had the chance to kind of sit, talk to him, and just a humble, to me, the first impression, just a humble kid. We talk about how, being able to give up some of the responsibility on the offensive end to focus more on the defense. Like you said, he doesn't care how many carries he gets. He's going to go and produce and give you what he can, and he's going to be happy with no matter what. Whoever scores for him. It's one of those things where it's a running back by committee. These guys are happy for one another, and you can tell. And that's going to carry them that's going to carry them a long way in the playoffs. When a team doesn't care who gets the credit and who gets the glory, that's probably the most dangerous team you got to worry about.
I agree 1,000%, partner. I want to thank everybody for listening in tonight. My name is Dallas Sands alongside Corey McIver. That concludes our Planning Team Financial Advisor and Shots Crossroads post-game show. You heard from Sports Clips Player of the Game. That was the one, the only Christian Dedman, and our Magic City Home Leisure move of the game belonged to Mr. Dedman as well. Moonlight Home Improvement brought you the halftime show. Also want to thank Minot State University, the UPS Store, Planet Pizza, Northern Plains Heating and Air, BSN Sports, Farsted Oil, the Pigskin Preview, Serve Pro, they provided the red zone. Ryan Family Dealership was the instant replay. First International Bank and Trust was our timeout sponsor. That pregame show was brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. And how about the scoreboard? You got to have a scoreboard. That was brought to you by BNC National Bank. As for Corey McIver, Logan, who was on the camera tonight, Nick Holberg back at the mothership. My name is Dallas Sanson. Thank you for choosing us on a rainy night. We'll see you next time here on PSP Network.
Presentation on the PSP Network is proudly brought to you by Make sure to like and follow PSP Network on all social media platforms. PSP Network, it's game day.
At Shots Crossroads, we make egg